Hey folks, Jeff of World Class Bulshitters here. Just wanted to let you know about Incarnate Studios. You haven't heard of them? Well, they help sponsor the show and keep us afloat. They make really great t-shirts, like Shitbusters, which is the official protest shirt of the 2016 farce. They also got Donald Trump, Blow Hard, and Hillary Clinton, Blow Hard 2, Blow Harder. Poo and politics not your thing? They got shirts from video games, TV shows, movies, horror, and the best part is, they add new shirts twice a week, so keep checking back to see what's coming next. IncarnateStudios.com. And don't forget the hyphen. Welcome to World Class Bulshitters, where we discuss pop culture on 6th grade reading level. Hello and welcome to World Class Bulshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me is Dion Green.
Baby, I'm back.
When did you leave?
In spirit.
You're always here in spirit.
You died? I thought that was true.
Yeah, I did.
You died, Phil.
You know, Dion, every time you leave in spirit, that shitty song from Titanic plays.
Does it make you just a little bit wet?
It makes me tear up a little that Celine Dion's husband is dead.
And her
I forgot
brother,
about that.
Her brother died like 2 days later.
Everyone just wants to get away from that woman.
Well, she probably is as talented as a cocktail waitress, but thank God for James Cameron, am I right?
In my opinion, she is the Gwyneth Paltrow of the music world. Just unlikable on every level.
Oh.
I could go with that.
Instead of Goop, she just has shitty music.
I was watching Iron Man 1 and 2 the other day, and I was like, God, Gwyneth Paltrow is terrible.
I've been saying that since 1998, dude. Speaking of terrible, Eric Lauderback's here.
It's sexual, baby.
Like 8 people that listen to this show will understand that joke. It's okay, that's better than one. And finally, the doctor.
That is true.
Stroke the shaft, gargle the cum, look out stomach, here we come.
I didn't know Dustin was here.
Sorry, Dustin.
That's his life motto.
All the dicks.
Well, listeners, Dan, Dustin, and Nick, and Joel are all not here tonight for a various number of reasons. So
They all died in a house fire.
They all died in the same house fire. We got together. We wanted to fire them, so we literally fired them. So look for their corpse on the next episode. So, gentlemen,
That might have been the most morbid shit that we've ever thrown out there. Ever.
Talk about, we did 2 funerals.
We wanted to fire them, so we burned them alive and told them to get their shit together.
I did it for Harambe.
Oh, there's so much death to talk about, but first off, this is a big news week for video games, so we're dedicating this whole episode to E3. But before we get into that bullshit, does anyone have any other pop culture news they'd like to share that they feel is relevant?
A gator killed a kid in Florida. Woo.
I thought it was at Disney.
Florida, Disney. Same
Disney bought Florida?
thing. Yeah, why not?
Well,
It was
Orlando.
in Florida.
Well,
Orlando.
yeah, they probably own it already.
It's in a resort outside.
So all those gay people got shot, and then a kid got eaten by an alligator? In Orlando?
And apparently, right before the gay people got shot, a 12-year-old was shot in front of a theater.
Oh.
So I guess we should be really careful when we go to WrestleMania.
Yeah. Orlando's
Probably.
not doing so well right now.
Well, Phil, we'll get that house that's out on the beach somewhere in, where'd you say it was?
It's a condo at Land's End Resort.
Okay, we'll go there and stay away from the hard streets of Orlando.
Oh, yeah, private beach, bro.
In the city.
But I'll go get some Coke in Miami for Dustin. So, I have a little piece of news. They cast a man named Tyler Hoechlin to play Superman in Season 2 of Supergirl. Blech. It's a lot of S's.
Who cares?
I don't, but he looks like Superman, so cool. You guys should Google him. I'm not going to put his picture in the video for the listener.
I watched one episode of that show. I couldn't stomach it.
I don't like her as a character. She's not interesting, and then I found out the show is just Superman stories recycled with her on it, so who gives a shit?
She's not a good actress anyway.
Oh, don't say that to the nerd community. They're going to freak the fuck out and stab you in the chest.
Too late.
Anything that goes up on freaking CW, you should automatically assume is going to be a piece of shit.
Except Supernatural, right?
Well, obviously, except Supernatural.
That was
Yeah.
your fucking show, dude. I remember
I still like it, even though it's not as good as it used to be. Hillary and I still dig the show a little bit,
Is
but
it still on?
yeah, even especially ever since it got on the fucking CW, it definitely, you can tell it's fucking run by a bunch of tweeny popper assholes.
So we can rephrase that, Dion. Anything that the CW releases now as a new show is terrible.
That's fair. I'll give you that. That's fair.
I'm going to jump on
Yeah,
and
that's
say
good.
that any superhero show that's not on Netflix is pretty much shit.
Good job.
Name one that's really good that's on network TV. If you say Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I'm going to come to your house and piss on you.
Agents of Not S.H.I.E.L.D.
I'm not going to piss on you, Loudy. Good job. You win.
I don't know. I don't watch any of them, so yeah, fuck it.
See, the thing with... It would work with a character like Spider-Man because his life is so serialized. Like, you got the Peter Parker aspect and you got all the other side characters and shit. But the shows they're picking are just... Their characters they're picking are just garbage that don't really lend themselves too well to a whole TV show. It's like a movie and you're done. The characters aren't as interesting.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, the time to do a Superman and a Supergirl TV show has passed. It's been done so many goddamn times. They don't need to be on a TV show. Now, if they were to do a lesser character, you know, even if they were to do like a fucking, I mean, outside of Green Arrow and Flash, but like just a smaller character. Like if you want to do The Question or someone like that, that would be a cool show.
Oh, come on now. You're picking something that would actually have quality behind it, and you know they're not going to do that. It's the CW, man.
Well, exactly. It is DC.
Speaking of DC, did you hear about the BVS extended cut is actually not that great? And even the cinematographer came out and said, if you didn't like the original cut, don't even bother with this one.
Are you?
Yeah, I could have guessed
What was I
that.
say? Is anybody surprised? No.
No, I was interested to watch a longer cut to see if it would actually pad out anything.
Yeah, we're not gonna get that.
Because it's not even going to be rated R, is it?
I think it is. I don't know.
Okay,
I
'cause
mean,
I thought.
but look, I ain't buying it.
They said the
Hell no.
extended cut's rated R.
Is
Well,
it? Okay, I know I had heard that early on, but goddamn.
It's just a rated R piece of shit. It's nothing that they really added anything great to. It's like you just smeared the turd instead of just, getting it out of your body. You smeared it across the wall, and then you got to look at the shit for a lot longer.
Pretty much.
Hey, that's some shitty art right there.
I would not use art and Batman v Superman in the same sentence. That's just me.
However, if you do want to talk about some type of art, looks like there's some new artwork out for a revival of Samurai Jack.
Oh, I thought you were about to say
I
Samurai
saw that.
Cop.
Yep.
Yeah, it looked. I know as a kid, I fucking love that show. So I mean, in the picture I'm looking at right now, he just looks angry as hell. And it looks like he's covered in blood, but I don't think he is.
Could you please send that to our Skype chat? Because I would love to see that.
Yeah, absolutely. 1 second.
I used to watch that, and all the Genndy Tartakovsky, or whatever his fucking name is, shows like Powerpuff Girls, Samurai Jack, Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Those were all cool looking shows. Dion, were you a Cartoon Network kid or not really?
No, well, remember, I didn't have cable as a kid, so anytime I did get to see anything like, Powerpuff Girls or Samurai Jack or any of that shit, it was when I went to a relative's house. But when I did get to see it, I did love it. I mean, like I said, I only saw, a couple episodes of Samurai Jack before getting to college and having the internet, actually. But no, I enjoyed Samurai Jack, especially as an adult.
From what I can surmise about your life, you basically were Luke Skywalker, and Michigan State was the Millennium Falcon. And it brought you to this whole larger world.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Like, fucking college girls, white women, and video games. It was fucking...
I knew you were going to say white women!
He went to college for white women.
So did I.
I mean, there are white women at home, but, they're small town white women. That's a whole different
They
breed.
weren't classy ladies like Hillary.
Exactly,
Believe me, I've driven past your exit. It rhymes with Cockbridge. I don't need to go there. Plus, she said it's kind of racist.
It definitely can be.
And I met Squirrelchin McGee, so... I basically have a good feel of the population of your town.
I think you do too, buddy. I think you got it pretty hardcore, well pat.
How impressed would you be if 10% of our listeners came from your hometown? It'd be the whole hometown.
I would just be like, God, I was like, y'all really ain't got nothing else to do. I mean, I appreciate the love, but, you know, all right, listen to the black dude from Cockbridge.
You gotta stick with your roots, Dion.
Exactly.
Hey, Loudy, where's that image at, bro?
I'm trying my best here, guys. Remember, this computer is like 8,000 years old. And
all you gotta do is hit right-click it, then hit copy image location, and then paste that image, or paste that into type message here, and it'll send us a link.
Don't you fucking internet, bro? God damn it.
I do internet, but I found it on my phone first.
Oh, just hold it up to the camera.
Send it to yourself, man.
Put it on Facebook. Does anyone else
download Skype and put it on Skype? God damn it.
You put it on the Facebook chat.
Oh my God.
Open Facebook chat on your computer. And
there, look at this shit.
Let's just all overreact to everything he does from now on. God damn it.
I'm mildly underwhelmed. All that for this?
I thought it was badass looking.
It was a joke.
Oh.
Actually, it's really fucking cool. It makes me want to draw something.
He looks fucking badass, man.
Yeah.
See the art.
Looks good.
He needs to shave.
No, he doesn't.
He looks like fucking Craven a little bit.
Or Jesus.
Or Jesus with blood.
Jesus wielded a katana and fucked everyone's lives up, absolutely.
The way it truly ended.
Samurai Christ, coming soon to a theater near you.
I'd pay to see that.
What does crucify mean?
Find out.
It means Japanese sword.
And thus Hente was born.
Oh,
could you imagine like a Jesus story with like, what was that tentacle shit called? Doesn't it have like a special name? Like Futa or something? I don't know. But imagine...
shit, that reminds me, for my news, they're making fucking Passion of the Christ 2.
Oh,
wait,
yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm not even shitting you.
They spoofed that on Family Guy over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It was Chris Tucker.
The guy from the first one.
He without sin kicks the first ass.
You crazy, Jesus? You crazy!
You think Chris Tucker will be in it?
I swear to, I hope and pray to Jesus that he will be.
If his taxes aren't paid yet. Wait.
Oh.
I need this check, Lee. My name is Jesus.
I was such a black man's checkbook, boy.
Guest starring Jackie Chan.
See, yeah, that's a really good impression of Chris Tucker.
I've heard it a lot that I remind people of Chris Tucker. So
you don't look anything like Chris Tucker, but okay.
It's the voice.
Yeah, he does. If he lost like 100 pounds,
Dion, if you got AIDS from the guy in
Chris
Texas,
Tucker's anorexic. Oh yeah.
If you would have let that fine gentleman give you the AIDS, you'd look just like Chris Tucker.
How do you look like, wait, AIDS?
And then every week we would be counting down till Dion passes away.
Oh God, I still have nightmares about that, but I still laugh when I wake up.
Oh my God, I almost died and I'd never see my children, my child or wife again. It was just a dream. It was all a dream.
It was.
I used to read Word Up magazine.
Salt and pepper, and he was in the limousine.
You know, when we get enough audience members and we're making some good revenue, we'll license that song for our podcast every week.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. It might be a little bit longer since you tweeted at Chris Evans about fucking alligators and Oscar Pistorius. I saw that. I was just like, he's not going to retweet our shit, man.
Oh, I never thought Chris Evans would retweet it.
It would have happened, but I was just like, I just imagined Captain America just being like, oh, that's a cool pic. God damn.
Oscar Pistorius. He shot Reba
alligator.
I was just trying to use the most popular hashtags.
It was so good, but I was just like, I was laughing. I'm just like, God damn it.
I'm going to let you do the Twitter because you have an announcement to make. Tell the people what you've accomplished this week on our Twitter.
That he got AIDS?
Well, yes, outside of I'm about to lose 100 pounds because of AIDS. Shit, who was it that started following us?
Sasso.
There was Will Sasso from 10 Minute Podcast. Actually, yeah, I think that was it. He started following us. He started following World Class Bulshitters on Twitter, and he has like 28,000 followers.
Oh, that's it?
In the weekly podcast that he puts out every Tuesday and Thursday. So I was very fucking geeked about it.
So was I. So, Dion, I want to thank you in front of everybody and congratulate you. That was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Will Sasso, We'll give you a shout out at World Class Bullshitters.
Yay, yay. And in the words of Will Sasso, yo, Will, we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Do you remember when he used to do the wrestling impersonations on Mad TV?
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. He actually talks him, and I can't remember his friend's name, some weird ass. His name's Tom. He has like the whitest name of all time, but they're both super huge wrestling fans, and his friend actually wrote for Monday Night Raw. So I guess that was kind of explains when he kept doing those. Was it the fake Stone Cold Steve Austin skit on Raw?
So his friend is responsible for the bad wrestling we've had for the last decade?
No, it sounds like...
No, his friend doesn't work there now. I think he worked it towards the end of the Attitude Era, but he wrote for Raw for that during the end of the Attitude Era. But yeah, Will Sass is a huge fucking wrestling fan.
Yeah, Will Sasso is actually good friends with Stone Cold. Stone Cold visits his podcast frequently.
Well, that's not him visiting. That's his impersonation of Stone Cold.
No, he's actually there. There's video of it. He does a good impersonation of Stone Cold, but Stone Cold's actually been on his podcast several times.
We need to get Stone Cold on our show
a while ago, because a bunch of times it's just him doing impersonations of Stone Cold.
What would we ask Stone Cold on our show?
How's Deborah?
Oh man, how much do you actually drink? Because something tells me it is a shit ton.
Yeah. I would throw the challenge out and say, Stone Cold, you're a man's man. You don't back away from a challenge. Right now, World Class Bullshitters is challenging you at a beer drinking contest.
Ooh, I think we'd give him a run for his money too.
I think we'd beat him, Dion, straight up. I don't care how cool Stone Cold thinks he is. I'm like Andre the Giant, and you're like, what's the guy's name? Mang, the guy that was Haku.
You're just ripping out a dude's fucking jaw. Yes.
Instead of jaw, it's a fucking bottle opener, and you're just fucking ripping off the tops of beers and chugging them down left and right.
Plus, we have finished quite a few cases of, like, multiple cases in single nights. So I'm very, very confident in our ability to fucking put Stone Cold Steve Austin's ass under the table.
It's almost ungodly.
I usually do pictures by myself, so it's all good.
Well, Loudy, when you move back home, we're going to get all the bullshitters together, probably go to a convention, and we're just going to get fucking shit-faced the whole weekend while I have a table for this podcast and for my t-shirt business.
By the way, which should be here, if I get the goddamn calendar up, hopefully within the next, say, 3 weeks or so, 4 at the most.
Okay.
Well, I know we're doing the we're still doing the was it the fire truck pull or whatever, Jeff?
Oh, you want to be involved?
Wait,
yeah, man. That's why I just assumed that we were doing that.
I'm still doing it. I will tell the guy that you want to do it.
Yeah, man. My bad. I just assumed that we were both doing it. So, but yeah, be around by then, Loudy.
Time out. There's a fire truck pulling. Y'all motherfuckers didn't tell me about it?
Clearly, our communication's fucked up because I didn't know that he didn't know that I was doing it. So now that we've connected there, let's branch out together, get the wieners to almost touch, and give you the invitation.
Is that like wiener cousins?
Yeah, I mean...
Hold on,
Wiener friends?
That's a t-shirt, Wiener Cousins. I'm sorry.
Wiener Cousins 2016.
Make the penises kiss.
Oh my god, I've never heard of that. It's like, is that like Wiener Cousins? See, okay, I'm gonna use this as a time to plug the fucking business. If you're a fan of this show, I started a t-shirt business to help fund our show so we can get advertising and all that other good shit. It's called Incarnate Studios. I'm making t-shirts of everything, and if you go there tomorrow, there will be a World Class Bullshitters t-shirt. So if you want to grab one of our shirts and tweet yourself wearing it, we'll give you a shout out on the show.
Use the WCBS hashtag when you do that.
And we've also got our shit on Ghostbusters shirt, the official protest shirt.
You tell them, Phil.
And if you really want to get out there to those people that don't even watch this show, just use the hashtag t-shirt time for all those douche fucks that watch Jersey Shore.
I just lost interest in my business, thanks.
I'm just saying, if you want to get people to get the t-shirt, be like, what the fuck's this? All of a sudden they find out, hey, this is actually kind of fucking cool.
I put up so many designs this past week alone. I think I have 56 things I've made so far. So
nice, man. Hit the ground running.
Kind of a big deal.
Well, the thing is, they're all designs I made. Like, everything you see on these shirts are elements that I created because I had to draw. So, like, if you look at my Nightmare on Elm Street shirt, it seems elaborate, but I drew it. The same with our Ghostbusters protest shirt, which I call the Shitbusters. The only thing I didn't draw is the picture of Donald Trump because I just used a real photo of it. But, Dion, have you seen that picture?
I have fucking...
The The Die Hard parody?
Yeah, no, what's the name of the movie?
Blowhard.
Blowhard, yeah. And then Blowhard 2,
Yeah.
I am totally buying those fucking shirts.
Oh, absolutely.
If I had a way to discount them for you, I would, but I'll explain to you how the business actually works later.
Cool.
But, yeah. That's my plug for this week. And if you're a fan of Matt Damon, we have a Matt Damon shirt that literally says Matt Damon. Matt Damon. It's fucking Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
So be
Matt
sure to
Damon is Rob Schneider.
So make sure to check out incarnate-studios.com every couple days, because I will be adding multiple designs in the first few weeks, and then I will be doing 2 designs each week. So get in on it. And a lot of them are limited editions, so once they're gone forever.
Fuck yeah.
But this week's show is not about my t-shirt business. It is about video games, E3. E3 used to be the preeminent video game show in the world, but now the way the internet works, E3 has kind of gone by the wayside. So a lot of these companies are kind of fragmenting away from what E3 used to be, and they're doing their own events. So we'll talk about what we think is the biggest parts, or are the biggest parts of E3, and we hope not to bore you too much. So who wants to go first?
I can go first.
All right, Dion, you had...
I had Sony exclusives. So obviously, as Jeff said before, E3's kind of become more of a chore than an actual video game event. But a few sources went on to say that overall, Sony probably had the best showing at E3. Namely because of a lot of great releases that are coming out. And also not just that, but some new tech being released as well. Namely... the PlayStation VR, which they had the release date of October 13th of this year. And then they're also going to have a few games for the games that I saw in my research. One was a game called Farpoint, Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing, and then Batman Arkham is going to be a game on the PlayStation VR. So, and apparently it seemed, what I saw of it actually looked pretty cool. It's not a great replacement for the PS4, but it's still, obviously, it seems like a lot of companies are going to put a lot of stock in this whole VR thing. But it looks actually pretty fucking cool. I'll give Sony that. It looked a lot better than previous virtual reality shit that they've been showing online. Everyone thinks those videos of people freaking out are so funny, but this actually looks like it could be pretty good.
How do you feel about it personally? You said it's coming out. Like, is Dion Green gonna buy it?
You know what? From what I've seen, it's a very, very flimsy yes. Obviously, depending on how Star Wars Battlefront X-Wing's gonna look. If it looks better on the regular console version, I probably won't end up getting it. But if I can get at least 2 games that will look awesome, I might actually invest in getting a PlayStation VR. So,
from what I saw, Dion, the best looking titles were Resident Evil and what was the other one?
I'm not done. So
my bad.
But and then obviously, outside of the VR, they are having more, as Phil just mentioned, a lot of exclusive titles for the PS4.
53 by this year's end.
Yeah, man, they're fucking really going at it. But the notable ones that I got down, obviously Spider-Man, a new Spider-Man game from Insomniac. It actually looks really fucking cool, a lot better than those, by the number Spider-Man games that they came out for the movies. But it actually looks really fucking good.
You'd be glad you didn't buy those, like some asshole named Jeff on this show.
Dude, I'm telling you. Let me tell you, better.
I purchased The Amazing Spider-Man 1. It was okay. Mm-hmm. And I purchased The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and it was the most god-awful video game I've ever purchased. It's broken. I used to post videos on Facebook of how it doesn't work.
Well, and then the other thing that made me excited about this game is that I played the 2001 Spider-Man, and then I bought Spider-Man 2. That's when they really introduced the whole free roaming shit for PlayStation 2 games. And I love that game. I thought it was great. The graphics weren't spectacular, for PS2, but it was a pretty fun game. And then obviously Amazing Spider-Man, those games were shit, but the trailer for this game looks fucking awesome. I'm actually really, and it looks like not early on because PS4 came out in 2013, but looks like they're pushing the boundaries of the system pretty fast here this next year. So it's gonna be pretty cool.
I was just gonna say.
No, go ahead.
I think it looks great, but I hate the design of the costume.
Really, you can tell they're definitely going for the Marvel MCU Spider-Man suit. They're totally trying to get on that bandwagon with this game.
My biggest problem with all superhero video games nowadays is the over-rendering of these fucking costumes. Especially with the Arkham stuff, every character looks stupid. That's why I have to buy the skins right away to switch. Like, I played Arkham as Michael Keaton Batman. I couldn't do that whole fucking Arkham Knight armor bullshit. And with this game, like, I know they want money, but if you can give me the comic book costume for like $2, I'll pay for that. If I have to play through the game with this suit to unlock a better one, I know it sounds really stupid, but I'm gonna wait until they allow that feature because I hate this design. It's so ugly. Why does he have giant white spiders on his suit? That just doesn't even fit with the design.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing about superhero games now is that it's kind of like, I guess, that's really getting into the whole video game industry with these big budget games. But every game has to have its own suit design, which is kind of annoying, And I was okay with it with the first Arkham game, because the suit still looked Batman-ish. And I did like the suit for Arkham Knight, but every superhero game has to have their own design on the costume. And sometimes it's like, if it's not broke, don't fucking fix it.
Like, the Arkham games were great, the first two, but Spider-Man's a poor dude who has, like, one costume.
Right.
And then every other Spider-Man game, with the exception of the movie ones, he's always had the regular Spider-Man design. Now they're trying to give him the fucking retractable eyes like Civil War and all this other shit. Like, the parts of his suit that are red are detailed and textured. Just make the suit the original design and call it a day. Don't fix, like you said, don't fix what's not broken.
Right. I mean, yeah, and even going to the movie, like I said, that you can tell with the trailer that they're trying to garner as much attention from the MCU as possible. And I wasn't super crazy about, especially the eye thing in Civil War, but as great as the game looked, that's my one concern. If they're gonna make Marvel games now, or even just any comic book superhero games, that they're going to be so obsessed with trying to make it look like the movies that they lose themselves and what the fuck they're doing. So, I mean, as long as the game's good, it won't bother me as much, but that's my one issue with the Spider-Man game so far.
I hope that it's an open world game. I mean, the New York City elements they showed looked amazing. Mm-hmm. Like, they put GTA 5 to shame. It was that good. I thought that game looked that good.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the scene in the trailer when he's swinging down close to the street level. I mean, that looked really fucking good.
And I think he swung through a car and grabbed something.
Mm-hmm.
That was it was cool. Like I said, as a superficial complaint, I just want a new costume. Give me the black costume, the original costume, something else, and I will like this. I will give this game a chance.
Right.
From what I'm reading on here, people that played it on the floor at E3 said it plays a lot like Amazing Spider-Man 1.
That's not that bad, but it's not that great either.
Yeah.
Because that game, I played every Spider-Man game, except Shattered Dimension. No, the one where you can only play as 2099 and 616 Spider-Man. I played everyone but that one. The thing I don't like about the Amazing Spider-Man games is the camera was so close up on that character's back, like it really took away the whole appeal of like swinging through the city and feeling so small in the cavernous buildings of New York. So I want that experience back. I don't want it like right up in your face. And the combo system's just trying to be Arkham. That's my problem.
So many games are doing that now. Even because when I got Mad Max last August after it came out, obviously it's WB Games that did that game as well, but they stuck with that formula too. And I get that Arkham, the combat system works I think flawlessly. But that's another thing. If everyone's gonna copy, if it's a third-person fighting adventure game, you don't have to do the same thing that Arkham did. And that's another thing that I'm starting to get a little worried about, is if they're just gonna copy Arkham, well then you might as well just make expanded universes of the Arkham games, because I don't know, that's not gonna be a good thing in the long run.
I'm glad the Arkham series is over, but at the same time, I really want Batman games of that level to come out every couple years.
Yeah.
And I don't think whoever has the task of making the next console edition Batman game is going to be as well received as Rocksteady.
Nope.
What other games did you find, Dion? I know Sony kind of blew it out of the fucking water with a lot of these announcements.
Yeah, I tried to keep it to the ones that sounded really interesting. But the other, I mean, they had a lot of. If the numbers don't wow people, the content is going to wow people. Before getting to anything else, they're going to release Crash Bandicoot on PS4. So it's going to be Crash 1, Crash 2, and then Crash Warped are going to be remastered for PlayStation 4, which I'm super excited about. They didn't really show a lot of footage, which worries me, but that's coming out for PS4. So I know a lot of PlayStation fans have been begging for Crash Bandicoot to make a comeback, so that's going to be interesting to see how they do that.
Do you think it's going to be where they just upscale the shitty PS1 graphics, or do you think they're actually going to reskin everything and redo it with high-definition textures and models?
You know, I think they're going to do the same thing they did for God of War for PlayStation 3 and just do the latter. Just render out some of the shitty PS1 graphics and then just put it on PlayStation 4. I don't think they're going to, copy the first game but redo all the graphics. I don't think they're going to do that. I think they're just going to do this as a platform to release an actual PS4 Crash Bandicoot game series coming out. Because, like I said, I doubt that they spent that much time on redoing those games.
They said on stage that during the press conference that it's rebuilt from the ground up.
Oh,
a completely new rendering of the
game.
They
need it because that game would look like shit.
Like I said, I don't necessarily believe it. You know what I mean? I mean, at this point, like I said, I'm excited. I'm not gonna lie, but saying that it's from the ground up, and then you'll be able to tell. I mean, we'll see. Like I said, we'll see. But I don't necessarily believe them when they say that they did that. So, but hey, I could be just wrong and just being pessimistic, but I don't believe it.
You
really
pessimistic
don't.
cunt.
They need to do what I think Square Enix has been trying to do with Final Fantasy VII. I'm a Final Fantasy mark myself, but when I found out they were going to remake Final Fantasy VII, I about jizzed my pants. But I've seen some of the gameplay, some of the trailers and everything for that, and I think it looks outstanding. Now, one of the things, I'm not sure if they talked about Crash Bandicoot, but I thought they were flirting with the idea when it came to Final Fantasy, was that they were going to try and alter the story a little bit. I may have misheard that somewhere, but
you're right. I heard the same thing.
Because I feel like I mean whether it's and I hate to call it a classic because it makes me feel old as shit. But when you're talking about those PS1 games like Crash Bandicoot and Final Fantasy VII and redoing them and everything, I feel like one of the things for me that drew me to Final Fantasy was the story and everything. And I feel like if they are going to change anything from the story, I feel like it's going to take away from the nostalgia of it all. So if anything, I feel like they should do. God damn it! They should take they should take Crash Bandicoot. I mean, obviously, and just I know we said it was totally different rendering, but make sure that it looks on par and it has what it's going to need to sell.
Did you guys like Crash Bandicoot back in the day?
I loved Crash Bandicoot Racing more than actual Crash Bandicoot, but I did really like those games.
Because my phone was so broke back in 1998, 1999. The only part of Crash Bandicoot that I played was on the demo CD that also had the demo of WCW Thunder, and I think it was Beast Mode or Beast Wars or something like that, where it was like a fighting game, and but from what I played, it was okay. I'll be honest.
Were those the demos? I think that came from
Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut?
It might have been. I don't know that, or it came with the PlayStation itself. But the sad thing was, I preferred Thunder over Crash Bandicoot.
Dude, my cousins had Crash Bandicoot.
One was so broken, dude.
I played through it. I mean, I'm gonna not wear the nostalgia goggles right now. I'll play it again if it's cheap, but it's not like a $60 purchase. Crash Bandicoot was never that amazing to me. And when you brought up Crash Team Racing, Dion, I always looked at that as the poor kid's Mario Kart. Like if you were like not loved as a child, your parents bought you that. But if your parents gave a shit, you got a Nintendo and you got Mario Kart. And God damn it, I had a Nintendo and I had Mario Kart, so I felt loved.
My mommy loved me.
Actually, we stole Mario Kart from a video store, but that's a story. Okay, we paid to rent it, we just never returned it, and then the video store went out of business.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess you won.
You can get arrested for that.
It's only if it's Freddy Got Fingered.
Do you ever... Yeah, there you go.
That guy, I can't believe he was going to court for that.
That's fucking nuts. Then they try to suing for like $40,000 or some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, and then Tom Green offered to help him out, I think.
Which
he
he should
offered
have,
to
because
pay
Freddy
the
Got
legal
Fingered
fees.
was a shit movie.
I would pay no more than $5 for it, which I did, but I like Freddy Got Fingered for all the wrong reasons.
I know for sure, and I will admit, Daddy, Would You Like Some Sausage is definitely one of the funniest parts of any comedy movie. It's just so fucking dumb, but it's so the thought of Tom Green sitting in a house with strings attached to sausages and him just hitting a fucking piano and fucking Rip Torn. Just like, what the fuck is that? Daddy, would you like some sausage?
I need another Men in Black film, goddammit. Dude, that's not even my favorite part. I think my favorite part is when he's making the cheese sandwiches and he's on the conveyor belt and he's using a sausage or a salami as a dick. He's like, ding dong, and he's slowly moving towards the window. He's like, ding dong, and wipes it across their fucking mouth. That movie's god awful, but I love it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a very high budget shit show.
I don't know how high the budget was. I want to watch it now. I got it somewhere on DVD, dude.
I'm about to look up the Daddy, Would You Like Some Sausage bit.
I just want to watch the part where he goes to Drew Barrymore. He's like, oh my god, so-and-so's wife is dead. She's like, Brenda? Yeah, she just fucking died. You gotta fucking tell him. He's like, ah! She runs off screen. You know, I think that movie is underappreciated.
No, it's appreciated exactly where it should be.
Right below Napoleon Dynamite.
I don't know, man. Napoleon
I don't
Dynamite.
know.
Arguably the
Yeah,
worst.
that's an argument that deserves to be had.
Well,
That's
you
next
Napoleon
week's
Dynamite.
debate.
Do you want to do next week's show is what's the worst movie we've ever seen?
Oh yeah,
All right, let's do that then, because we have a movie dry spell for a while.
for sure.
Dion, go back to your PlayStation exclusive. There's one you're missing.
Oh no, there's definitely not one. There's I'm saving those ones for the last.
Okay.
Not for the last, but for last. Two smaller games: Firewatch, Alienation. They didn't look that interesting, so I'm not gonna talk that much about them. A game called Detroit: Become Human, which is gonna be, I guess, like a RPG game where you're this android and you make decisions. It's an android that works for the police department or some shit. The trailer actually looks pretty cool. But, you know, at the crux of it, it's just a pretty much by the numbers, choose your own destiny game that just looks really good.
You know how I could make that game better, but it wouldn't sell any more copies?
Oh, God.
Beverly Hills Cop, choose your own adventure game.
I knew you were going to
You have 4 options. Yes, no, maybe, and and you can just laugh your way through the whole fucking game. And then other options. Run, fight, banana in the tailpipe. And then at the end, the guy goes, I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
Hey, man, I ain't going to fall for no banana in my tailpipe.
Say it like that, man. It's more natural. You've been hanging out with this dude too long. I did see that Detroit game, and I thought, who would make a game about Detroit? Unless it's RoboCop, I ain't playing it.
See, actually, when I saw it, I thought it was a fucking joke. I thought, like, it was... I was like, is this Sony trolling the entire fucking city of Detroit? But no, it's a real fucking game. And they're just like, we're just going to have a game about really semi-attractive white androids, and you play as one of them. So, okay, all right, I might check that shit out, actually.
How would you feel if the next Grand Theft Auto took place in Detroit?
It would be fucking phenomenal. I'd shit my pants.
Doesn't Saints Row take place in Detroit?
No, I think Saints Row...
Oh, wait, no. It's a fictional world, but
yeah,
it's
but
just
I think
like
it's
Detroit.
supposed to be... I think it's supposed to be Detroit. Or no, it might be L.A. I can't remember off the top of my head.
What they
It's
need is a
Detroit.
true crime streets of Detroit.
It'll just be Kwame Kilpatrick raping people and smoking crack. All right, goddammit, who tricked my ass? Come on, Sony, make us a Beverly Hills Cop video game that doesn't suck.
World Class Bullshitters is calling you the fuck out. No, WB Games, Rocksteady. Make us a goddamn Beverly Hills Cop game now.
God, what the fuck are you holding? Is that like a pink dildo or what is that?
That's what I was thinking. Is like, why is Dion holding a dildo?
No, it's a track to one of my kids' toys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was a bedpan.
Did something happen, Dion? You using a bedpan?
It's a small... What the fuck am I going to do with this fucking child's bedpan?
You can
That's
shit
all
in there.
the-
That
That's
was
all the
one turd.
cocaine.
It would hold one turd.
Well, I didn't say you had to go like violently. It's not like we ate Panchero.
It would be
What shit?
overflowing with
Linging
one
at the
turd.
door.
That's why
Babe,
we leave
take
the
this.
door open. Tell her we watched you smoking.
Shit everywhere, all over the walls. Oh,
I can hear him now. Hillary, I need another bedpan.
No, say
BBS
baby.
all over again.
Hey, babe. baby.
Dottie, did you just quote Dumb and Dumber?
What?
What he said about the shit? It's on the walls.
There's shit everywhere.
Fucking Bob Saget.
Oh, sob Baggett.
You know he's your best friend.
Hey, I would love to have Bob Saget on this show.
We know you would.
He was at Ohio State one time while I was there, and he did stand up or some type of talk or something.
That's a very broad, some sort of talk.
No, I like how he said stand. He's like, he did stand up or some kind of talk. I'm like, is that supposed to be like quotations in your voice? Did he not do stand up, Lottie? What was that about?
I don't know. I was supposed to see it, but then I got fucked over at the last second because of math class or some bullshit. So I was like, oh, guess I can't go.
I guess you don't got it, dude. Oh,
that was circa 2009, so kind of missed the boat on that one.
Goddamn, 7 years ago.
I know.
Dion, we were friends in 2009.
We were, man. We were. That was right after we really kind of started hanging out at that point.
That was the year where Dustin couldn't be kept in that fucking sweatbox.
That's right.
Should we tell that story since he's not on the show?
Oh, totally.
It was the year Dustin couldn't be kept in the sweatbox, see?
Loudy, it was great. It was a Halloween party. I had this girlfriend in college. I invited Dion and Hillary over for the party.
Nice.
And Dion and I had been friends for a long time at this point, over a year, but we didn't get to hang out as much as we wanted. So Dion was there, Hillary was there, Dustin, and then my girlfriend and her friends. And we were just drinking and having a great fucking time. Like, everyone was having fun. And then all of a sudden, Dustin's like, I have to leave right now. And Dion took his keys and wouldn't let him drive. And it got really dark.
And it was funny because that was right when WWE released Macho Man's documentary. Or not documentary, it was mainly just a bunch of matches of his and a lot of his promos. So Dustin and we knew that he loved Macho Man, so he brought it, and it was in his bag. And as he's trying to get out, I'm just standing in front of the door, and he's freaking out because he tries to, push past me, but he's like, fuck, I can't move this big guy. So he just starts just screaming, and he's like, you can't keep me in this fucking sweatbox, and takes his bag and throws it on the ground with the Macho Man DVD in it. And he fucking breaks his Macho. I think he had bought that day. Oh. And he broke his fucking Macho Man DVD. And so he's just freaking out.
I remember Hillary trying to talk him down.
Yeah, and it was cool though, because Jeff was still being like cool as a cucumber, drunk Jeff, just sitting there being like, no man, no. And he was just being like fucking really cool about it. And Dustin was just losing his shit.
I remember Spencer went up to Dustin in the kitchen. He's like, hey, man. And Spencer was so drunk he just fell over and hit his face on the fucking oven.
I forgot about that.
Now, was the oven on? That's the question.
It may have been one of the nights, Loudy. I'll tell you this. When I was a kid, my mom would buy me toaster scramblers, and she would only give me 2. So when I got to college, I had a dream.
We're going to have to come back to that last part.
I had a dream that I would eat more than 2. So I bought multiple boxes and cooked them all at once. It might have been one of our drinking nights where I made...
that is out fucking standing.
It was a bad idea, but it tasted delicious. I wouldn't do it with toaster strudels, though. It's just too much goddamn sugar.
Yeah. has to be the egg, cheese, and bacon.
And sausage.
And snot.
Yes, you totally did that when we were drinking. You totally did. I specifically remember that story.
All I know is that night was fucking phenomenal, and I miss those times, Dion.
Oh, don't worry, man. That's the great thing about being an adult. We can get drunk on a larger basis and totally not feel bad about it.
Well, technically, we were all adults back then. I was 21.
That's true.
The story happened.
That's true.
So let's get back on topic before.
Oh yeah, sure.
You guys,
oh, right. There was a podcast. We're doing a podcast. What?
All you guys want to do is talk about when you would do dumb shit. Well, guys, if you would have listened to us back then, when we didn't have a podcast, you'd be in on the joke. So it's not our fucking fault.
Exactly. Get over it.
It's America. You could have been there. You could have been our friends, but you didn't want to.
Yeah, that's fucking your loss, America. It's fucking your loss.
Not ours. All right, Dion. So, what other huge games do you have to share with us?
All right, so this one I couldn't decide which one was bigger, so I'll just go off the cuff. The God of War sequel. They released the gameplay trailer for God of War. I love the God of War games. I played 1, 2, and 3. I played part of Ascension. I've loved those games for forever. I'm super excited. It looked really cool. I guess it's gonna go more into Norse mythology. and he has a kid. Now, does he kill the kid? We don't know, but that game looks fucking awesome. Kratos has a beard. You know, he's got this axe that may or may not be a different version of the Sword of Olympus, but the game looks fucking cool.
Dude, I'll tell you this. I'm as pumped as you are, but if you have to play as that kid the whole game, I ain't buying it.
No, fuck no. If that's the case, I will take it back. But the gameplay trailer, it looks like you are playing as Kratos. I mean, it's from the very beginning, so...
Oh, I watched that trailer.
Yeah.
I wanted him to kill... He's like, go for the deer or whatever. And he starts screaming. He's like, there it is! Like,
he said he fucking...
He went over there! The kid
went over there!
It's just so dumb. Like, it's like Dexter's son Harrison. You
Dude.
know, he's your son and you love him, but at one point in time, you just want him to die.
Yeah, dude. The kid is... Because that trailer was, what, like... 9 minutes long? That kid is already annoying as fuck.
I just realized who that kid reminds me of.
Who?
Sylvester Stallone's son from Over the Top. Sir?
Oh, that was a great movie, by the way.
I love that movie.
When the kid is crying in the arcade, I can't do it.
He was in another fucking...
Oh, stop being a bitch and just do it. Put that backwards. Awful Sylvester Stallone impersonation, I know, but who gives a shit?
He was in another movie from the same company called Going Bananas, where a talking monkey interacts with him and Dom DeLuise. In the first line, he's like, "Sir!" It feels like a fucking sequel to Over the Top. It's garbage.
That kid looks horrible, and he was weird because he was a little boy, but he had the face of a little girl. It was very weird.
I was just about to say he looked like a bitch.
Does he look like a bitch?
That kid was so weird.
If we're talking about David, what's his face from Over the Top? Yes, he does look like a bitch.
That Billy, what's his name?
Billy Bitch.
B squared. Was that who that guy John Cena used to come out with? B squared, Billy Bitch.
Oh,
I think John Cena's the bitch in that scenario. I think John Cena's the bitch in every scenario.
How about this? I was like, oh, so you stopped thinking he was the bitch circa 2004 or so? No, he's still the bitch today.
Dude, I stopped watching wrestling. This week, I didn't even realize Monday Night Raw was on, Dion.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching something else. I went, oh, it's 9, Raw's on.
Well, technically it's on at 8, so that's even worse.
It's on for an hour.
You didn't miss anything.
I'll be over for the pay-per-view, but I'm not that excited for it besides a ladder match.
No,
yeah, I literally only watch the pay-per-views right now. I might skim through Raws nowadays on my DVR, but I don't watch it live anymore.
I'm going through.
We all gather at Phil's cavern for pay-per-views.
That would be amazing. Phil, you need a cavern, like an actual, like, build a hole into the side of a hill in Delhi and just put up a sign that says Phil's Cavern. And I hope it gets Wi-Fi, but we'll be there.
Why do I need a cavern? I have a house.
Well, okay.
Because Uncle Phil.
Fine, that's going to be your housewarming gift from me. A fucking sign that says Phil's Cavern. It'll be a...
Better not be.
It'll be a wood burning.
Better not be, goddammit.
Dion, back to you and God of War. This is what got me pumped about E3. I was like, holy shit, a game I want to own.
By the way, that was their on-stage demo. They played that on stage.
See, I didn't get to watch any of the press conferences because I've been busy with the website. And then I had to deal with a lot of shit this week, so I didn't get to watch them, but...
I went to a party and we watched them all and ate a bunch of food.
What kind of party is that?
It was a birthday party. Happy birthday, Patrick.
Oh, okay. That's okay. I thought you meant you hosted a party just to watch E3 press conferences.
No, he did. He did, not me.
Yeah, but it's under the pretense of his birthday. I mean, it's not a...
That was what he wanted to do. He took off work for 3 days so he could watch all the coverage for E3.
Take off work for 3 days. You could take 3 days off work for anything in the world. Anything that's gonna E3.
That's when vagina's a very distant memory. When E3 is the thing, you take 3 days off. If I'm taking 3 days off, something's getting fucked.
I took half a day so I could see the Microsoft press conference.
I get that. That's cool, but you took 3 whole work days to watch, something that literally can be watched in its entirety on fucking YouTube.
Well, it was his birthday and all of his friends. I mean, God, there must have been 30 people in and out of there the time that I was there.
Sounds like a brothel.
Yeah,
it sounds like a decent time. Was there any drinking involved though?
Sounds like
it started after I didn't stay long because I got there at fucking noon and it got fucking crowded, so I decided to leave.
Fuck.
And it's a little tiny 1-bedroom apartment, so fucking 30 people cramming, or 20, 30 people cramming in an apartment.
Sounds like my apartment, except I don't keep 20 to 30 people in there.
Hey, what you do with your gay friends is on your time. That's all on you, Loudy.
It's funny because I don't really.
I thought you were gonna say it's funny, Phil, or Loudy, because Phil is one of your gay friends, but you dropped the ball on that.
I did,
No, I thought you were gonna say that. That's what you were saying last night when you were over.
I set you up for that one
today, man. Maybe because I've been up since 4 or 5.
No, Loudy, you're acting like Roman Reigns right now. You're getting softballs and you just keep whiffing.
So give me $20.
Dion, I'm not a good guy. I'm not a bad guy. I'm not even the guy. I'm just the guy that Vince wants.
That is, by the way, that is the worst fucking catchphrase ever.
That is your champion's catchphrase.
Next
Never
to just
forget
Joe.
Apparently, it's the number one catchphrase, too, according to WWE.com. Their top 10, it is actually the number one catchphrase.
WWE.com is fucking cum bullshit.
Wait.
Don't hold back, Phil. Please tell me more.
Fucking die, Vince McMahon. Just fucking die. Fire.
I
wish he really died in that exploding limo.
In 2007?
Yes.
Remember that one time that Paul London smiled at him by accident and didn't know it was going to happen?
That was the same night.
That's one of the funniest videos of all time. Just how subtle it is. He's walking down the hallway and it's just Paul London's asshole face just looking at him with this giant smile. And even if you don't know what's going to happen, you're just like, he's probably not supposed to be doing that shit right now.
He
just has a shit-eating grin on his face.
Explosion gimmick. They would have had Paul London be the guy behind it. Why else would you smile at your boss right before his limo blows up? If you really wanted to take that, I'm not saying that it was a good angle or anything, but if you really wanted to take that somewhere, why wouldn't you? I don't know. Use the asshole that smiled at the boss before his limo blew up.
Because
hell, even if they went with the angle even after that one guy who must not be named who happened to win a world title at WrestleMania 20, if they wanted to pick it back up, that would have been a great way to get Paul London some recognition. Like, hey, asshole.
It was a prank.
But no, they fired him.
Hey, Dion, I have a quick question for you. Are you watching the NBA Finals?
I am, actually.
Did you see the advertisement that just says Kiefer Sutherland? It doesn't say anything else. It just says Kiefer Sutherland.
There have been some...
I need advertisements that just say Jeff Hicks.
There have been some horrible fucking commercials for the finals because they were actually showing the fucking Ghostbusters commercial from games away, and it had some players that play for the Knicks, and I tweeted it out. I was just like, yeah, that's probably the closest the Knicks are going to get to a title is a shitty movie trailer, and it made the movie somehow look worse. It literally did. Somehow Spike Lee's involved, and they just are shooting at the slime. It just looks fucking dumb.
It's like Sony's trying to make a movie that will make me never want to watch it.
Seriously.
And if you don't want to watch it, buy the goddamn shirt. Buy the protest shirt. Fuck that movie. It's literally a turd. It's the Ghostbusters logo. That's what they're giving us, man. And I'm not going to get into that rant because we're going to review it and rant later. But...
you are going to watch it?
Yes, I am. Just for the podcast. So, I'm sorry, listeners, but you guys need to hear it.
Ugh.
And I need to get my shirt so we can go watch it and wear our shirts.
That's true. We need to get those as advertisements.
Yeah.
Much. Dion, did you have anything else you'd like to add for the Sony press conference?
Yes, I do. The last one, the big one, the one I am the most excited about, a little bit more so than God of War.
What?
Is finally, The Last Guardian. Not only was it mentioned, but they actually had a release date for it. October 25th, The fucking Last Guardian.
Ooh, that's right around my birthday.
Will finally come out.
Now, to me, The Last Guardian is one of those games that's like, we've been talking about it for a decade. It better blow people away, or else that studio's fucking done.
Listen, for me, it is this... Right now, this game is in Duke Nukem territory. Because... they showed some very, very short snippets of a game that they were making. People got really fucking excited about it because at the time it was a new concept. People were really, really pumped for that type of gameplay, and they couldn't get the job done. And they talked about it. People bitched about it and talked about it, and all this other bullshit. And they finally, so now they have to either do amazing or like you said, they're fucking dead. And I am excited to see how that turns out. Because I'll probably buy the game and play it. And if it's shitty, I will personally be one of those dudes with pitchforks and blowtorches trying to burn that motherfucker down. Because it's either going to be amazing or be absolute dog shit. And I'm excited as fuck.
I'll drive you.
It'd be great if that game came out and it's like 40 minutes long.
Dude.
What have you guys been making for
40 minutes long and it's boring as fuck.
Actual gameplay.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, it's been 10 years. What the actual fuck?
They've been trying to render it in 4K.
In 4K.
They were trying to render 4K games for the PS2. What a mistake. Now,
oh man,
I don't like
the
Shadow of the Colossus or Eco.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not... When you mentioned this as, like, the big one, I just went, oh, man, Dion.
To me, God of War was the big one.
Yeah, that's Sony's premier franchise. I don't even care. Like, Uncharted 4, I didn't buy that shit. Because it's all the fucking same. At least God of War is slightly different.
Well, I mean, obviously they have, that Horizon Zero Dawn game. I didn't mention that because that game actually looks pretty dumb. But, like I said, this game has had so many years of build up. People were so fucking excited, and you have developers say, "Oh no, the game's gonna be great." Blah 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 blah. We're trying to get blah 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 blah. Now it's finally got an actual release date. I mean, the blue balls that are going to explode over this game is gonna be crazy, and I just can't wait to see how it all turns out, man.
Think of how many vaginas will go unfucked the day that game comes out, because every dude that's a gamer is like, "Oh my god, the last Guardian's here."
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
I read IGN and they always talk about it.
IGN gave it a 9.5. It must be great. It must be great.
I'll trade my child that I'll never have for this game. Oh, Last Guardian, you're my hero and my lover.
I was let down with Indigo Prophecy, but IGN told me this was a great game and it's a fucking story, and I can't wait.
It's better than Heavy Rain.
Ellen Page.
Do you remember the whole fiasco when they rendered the game with a nude model of her?
Yep.
We're freaking out.
It's like, you guys, game's been doing this shit already. What the fuck is wrong with you guys?
We have bigger problems in life.
It's like, she's fuckable. Why is everyone getting all upset? It's not like she didn't know this shit was gonna happen.
She's also a lesbian, so that takes her off the table for me.
Yeah.
Or does it?
Thank you, Sean!
So, some people like the challenge, Jeff.
I don't know. She just is like your best friend. She doesn't look like a woman that you would lust after.
Well,
unless you're Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Well, nobody likes Michael Cera. So.
Michael Cera doesn't like Michael Cera. To steal a line from Hillary. And now a moment of silence for Michael Cera.
Oh, that was...
All right, moment's over.
Unless you're Michael Cera. And then, of course, Michael Cera sure as shit doesn't like Michael Cera.
Fuck you, Michael Cera.
Did you get any news about the PS4 Neo? The biggest mistake ever?
No.
I purposefully told myself, I'm not going to look this up because it's going to be a waste of money, and I'm not, just because it has more storage space and all that bullshit, I'm not even going to pay any attention to it.
Here's the thing, Jeff. E3 ends today. Sony didn't even talk about it. They're not pushing it at all.
You know what I think they're going to do is they're going to get the Scorpio specs, which we'll talk about Scorpio in a few minutes, and I think they'll just be like, well, we're going to throw this in there instead, and they're just going to keep trying to one-up Microsoft, because I listened about the Scorpio shit, and I'm kind of intrigued. Just saying.
We'll see. The Scorpio shit is just Microsoft knowing that they fucked up, but there'll be a catch, and they won't say it until closer to the date of actually releasing it. But there's going to be a fucking catch with it, and I can't wait for all the Microsoft.
The only thing I can say in their defense is they're going to have a huge library because of the fucking Xbox 360 backwards compatibility.
Yep.
And I mean, I really liked Xbox 360, so.
We'll see.
All right, Phil, do you want to go, or do you want to let Loudy do his multiplats, and then are you going to close it, or what?
No, I can go on.
All right. You go, Phil. Tell us about the Microsoft portion of the show.
Well, basically, I got a recap of their press conference. They started off with the Xbox One. It's a traditional improvement upon a gaming console, just like we see all the time. They've come out with a slim line. 40% smaller, slick paint job, 4K and HDR support. 4K Blu-ray compatibility, which I'm sure that'll snag some people. The higher end model will include a 2 terabyte hard drive. It's also gonna launch. They've redone the controller, slimline controller, the new texture grip, better range, and they've added Bluetooth compatibility to the controllers. So you don't have to go out and buy the $150 headset from Microsoft anymore.
Can I use my phone on the controller?
I don't know about your phone, but if you have
I just want to make phone calls to the people I play with. Fuck you, kid. I don't care if you're 12 years old. Your mom sucks dick, and you're terrible at Call of Duty.
Supposed to play Call of Duty?
Hey, that's what Microsoft Land was to me. I lived there for quite a while.
Well, immediately following the announcement of the Slimline Xbox, Microsoft announced a starting at $299 price drop, and they announced that all of the consoles in stores now, if you don't want to wait for a Slimline, will drop to $299 starting. So obviously it's going to be without a Kinect, and it'll probably be if I had to guess, a 1 terabyte hard drive for the Slim.
I don't like the original Xbox One controller. I think it feels kind of cheap, and the sticks or whatever. So I'm intrigued to play with this new one. So hopefully you get one.
I might get another controller because
that's what I meant, not the system.
I kind of broke one, but anyway, the Slim line launches in August. The price drop is available now.
Will the Slim launch at the $299 price?
Starting at
Okay.
Obviously, the higher end will be more the 2 terabyte hard drive. Microsoft then moved into their game showcase. They started with Gears of War. They showed the story mode, which no one's really interested in since the story ended with Gears 3. I don't really know where you go from there. You killed all the locusts. So, but it looks beautiful in 60 frames per second. The move from cutscenes to gameplay was very seamless. I played the multiplayer beta in May, and I was very impressed. Gears will launch October 11th. And along with this, Microsoft also announced the new cross and play program where you can play anywhere. Basically, if you buy a game that is supported by the Play Anywhere program, if you buy it digital on Xbox, you get a free copy for PC.
Nice.
Yeah, and you can play online with PC players.
That would never appeal to me because I don't have a strong enough PC to play Gears of War.
Right, and that's the thing. It's like, if you don't have a PC, I mean, a lot of people, you got an Xbox because you couldn't afford to buy a $1,000 PC that'll play video games. So,
or you just didn't want to waste your fucking time putting a PC together.
Right.
I'm with you, Dion. Like, I want to buy a box that I can play for 5 years and just put a disc in, and that's it. I don't really want I got a new graphics card, my whatever GX 4000 whatever. Like, who gives a shit? I don't want to open up my system and solder anything, or, I need a new sound card. No, I need a PlayStation. I need a PlayStation 2. It just jumps. It's way more economical that way, in my opinion.
Thank you. You might have to buy some stuff, but it's really easy to. No, it's fucking not.
It's a waste of time.
I don't know how to put a goddamn computer together. I don't want to know how to put a goddamn computer together. I pay other dumb motherfuckers to put computers together so I can fucking play them.
I only want small Chinese children to put my systems together. I don't want to do it.
Fucking capitalism, bitch.
Those nimble fingers, Jeff. That's how they do it so well.
Well, I mean, every time I buy a new console, the first thing I do is smell it to see if I can smell their souls. Because I know at least one of those little kids died making my PlayStation.
No, they don't have souls. What?
Oh, they're Asian.
They're not gingers.
Are you saying that I don't have a soul now too, Jeff?
You're not fully Asian.
I know, but still.
You're like you're as Asian as I am black. Not very much.
Go a quarter?
So from there, they moved into a trailer for Killer Instinct, announcing it's also available on Play Anywhere, and you can play as General Rom from the first Gears of War.
In Killer Instinct?
Yeah.
Yep.
They've also added the Arbiter from Halo. I found that out. I haven't played Killer Instinct since it first came out. So
that's actually really a cool idea.
Yeah. After that, they showed a new trailer for Forza Horizon 3. Is set primarily in Australia. I was disappointed. It doesn't, from past.
Have any of those games been not disappointing?
Well, the gameplay maybe, but when you look at a Forza Horizon game, they look visually stunning. They've all in the past they all have. This one did not to me. It looked very dull. Especially they were showing dune buggies. I don't know why they added dune buggies to Forza, because like Forza is meant for like high-end cars, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, all that good shit, not fucking dune buggies. So I don't get that.
It's the blue collar edition.
Yeah.
Dune buggies.
Dale Earnhardt edition.
Clear the cable guy selling Prilosec OTC back in the box. You get a free sample with every proof of purchase.
Yeah.
Well, if anybody cares, Forza Horizon 3 is set for September this year.
Nope.
You'll buy the game and then you'll immediately regret that shit.
Yeah, my little brother will probably play it. He'll probably want it.
Well, fuck your little brother. He's a piece of shit.
Hey, I should fucking take the fat off of you and beat you with it.
Good.
Smother you in your own fat.
You can keep it when you're done.
I'm sorry? What hurts?
What about Project Gotham Racing? Does anybody remember that series? That was
God, yeah.
I played that in college a lot.
I didn't.
I know. You weren't there with me. I'm the only person that ever played it.
I played a lot of Assassin's Creed and Mass Effect and all that jazz.
Ooh, I don't like Assassin's Creed.
Creed got boring quick. Anyway, we finally got an actual trailer for a game called Recore. It's a third-person shooter, looks like, an adventure game where you can rip the cores out of enemy robots and rebuild them to make new situational robots, such as a spider to swing around different places or a bulky robot to fight off enemies. It looks very Ratchet and Clankish, and it appears that you can have multiple robots at once. This was teased last year at E3, and the trailer looked really good, and it looks a lot like Borderlands style too. So this comes out in September 13th. I'm actually excited for this one. It looks like a good adventure game. So I was kind of pumped to see gameplay from that.
I saw the trailer for it, and I was intrigued, but I don't own an Xbox, so...
Well, you can get one soon.
No, if I'm going to buy one, Phil, all joking aside, if I'm going to buy one, it's going to be a fucking Scorpio.
Yeah. We'll get to that.
Why would I ever buy, like, a gimped version of something? That'd be like if I went out and bought the regular edition right now. I'm like, well, what a waste of fucking money, Jeff.
Well, that was the thing. I was like, and I'll talk about it more when I get to the Scorpio, but it's like, you're announcing a Slimline, and then you're announcing a new console for next year. Why the fuck is anybody going to go out and buy Slimline?
And why are we announcing, like, 3 consoles at once that aren't even a next edition? It's like PlayStation 4.5, Xbox 1.2, Xbox 1.5. It's like, what's the next system going to be?
Bad marketing, bro. Anyway, so that was that was followed by a lackluster showing from the much anticipated Final Fantasy 15. They basically wanted to show how smooth it ran on the Xbox One S, but when the guy was playing the game, I understand it's like a survival mission. You're supposed to stand there and you fight off the enemy until your other teammates arrive or whatever. This guy was getting his ass kicked. This is a game that you created, and you're fucking getting your ass kicked in the demo. He almost died 3 times.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And it was so boring. They didn't even... They're fighting this giant fucking titan, I guess. And the hand just keeps coming back and forth, swinging and beating the shit out of this guy. And they didn't even kill it. That was the end of the demo when the other squad showed up. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing? If anybody gives a shit about that, that releases September 30th.
I will not be purchasing any Final Fantasy games ever.
No.
I don't like that shit.
At least do 7, Jeff. Jeff, come on. At least do 7.
Jeff has a life. Jeff doesn't have time for Final Fantasy.
I have a life as well, but that doesn't mean I don't have time for Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but you're not Jeff.
Then you clearly don't
Jeff.
have
Don't have time for Final Fantasy.
Don't be like Jeff.
Hey, Jeff has time for other shit, but ain't nobody got time for fucking Final Fantasy.
Of course they do.
Virgins, and not people named Loudy.
I was gonna say, I'm like, bruh.
I know Dan's not here tonight. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, then they showed a trailer for the Division's download pack. I don't understand why they're wasting Showtime with that. Followed by a trailer for Battlefield 1. I'm personally excited for Battlefield 1 as I'm a huge fan of World War 1 and 2. Yeah, it's already out. It came out like 2 years ago.
Okay, so if Battlefield 4 came out, why is Battlefield 1? Is it like
I don't know why
version?
I'm not thrilled about the name. No, it's multi-console. But I'm just excited because I'm a huge fan of World War 1 and 2 first-person shooters. So they're going back to that style gaming, and it visually looks stunning. 60 frames per second. EA also announced that with people of EA's Access program, I've never heard of it, or Xbox Live Gold members will be able to play the game 1 week early. Battlefield 1 is set for October 21st. If you get it early on the 13th, you can.
Ooh, it comes out on my birthday. I won't be buying it. I just know my birthday's now on a Tuesday, so good for me. Thanks, Phil.
I was hugely disappointed in Battlefield 4, so I'm kind of looking forward to this one. They then showed new content for Minecraft. I don't understand why. Last year, believe it or not, Minecraft stole the show when they showed the virtual HoloLens demonstration of Minecraft.
That was neat.
Which is really fucking cool. This year they put everyone to sleep showing some Alien downloads, and it looks stupid.
You mean like Alien the movie?
No, like you can turn zombies into aliens.
How the fuck can you tell what you're looking at? Everything's a bunch of pixels.
Exactly.
I mean, we're living in a world where you can render each individual hair on fucking Grizzly Adams' beard in the video game that doesn't exist. But you're gonna put like 8 colors on a fucking square, and it has block hands, and there's a thing called like it's just retarded. It looks like a dildo, but it's a cucumber or a cactus or something. Like,
yeah,
I'm too old. The worst explanation of this game ever.
Dion, do a better job. You're a square on a square, and you build other squares.
That is an accurate description.
That was perfect.
I just need a second chance at everything. I'm good, man. I'm good.
No, it looks fucking stupid. They put everybody to sleep. Perhaps it's because earlier this year they announced that you could get in on the HoloLens beta for a mere $3,000 fee.
Well, you know what? I got it covered for everybody on the show.
Woo! We're all getting HoloLenses.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. What the hell's a HoloLens?
It's the Microsoft's virtual reality. It's basically they've created Tony Stark's computer technology where he uses his hands and motions everything.
Dude, that's gonna make porn so much better.
Yeah. But anyway, then they announced Design Lab, where you can go on Microsoft's website and customize your controller, for the Slimline controller, not just the buttons, but the triggers, the joysticks, the D-pads. You can do it all. You can't put designs on it. I've actually played around with it. You can do colors, and that's about it.
So I can't get a world-class Bulshitters controller?
You can, but you can just have it inscribed with like laser. They do laser etching for a couple extra bucks, and they'll laser etch. You can have world-class Bulshitters on there, or your name or your gamer tag or whatever you want.
Will they laser etch it exactly the way we write it for the logo?
Probably not.
Then I don't want one. I don't even want an Xbox anymore.
Well, and I was going to say the other thing. Unfortunately, you can't put swear words. So
this is America, goddammit! I
tried
putting word on my controller.
I've tried putting "fuck you" and it wouldn't do it. I was very upset.
What about butthole?
I didn't try butthole.
You should always try butthole.
Speaking of butthole, you better talk about the fractured butthole, Eric. Anyway, South Park and the fractured butthole.
Oh, well.
That was my highlight of E3.
Well, then you talk about it if it gives you such a hard on.
Okay, I will talk about it. This game is fucking amazing. They showed it at Ubisoft's press conference, and they were showing gameplay. It's like you're watching a fucking episode of South Park. It looks that good.
And you also get a free, if you pre-order it for Xbox or PlayStation, you get a free copy of Stick of Truth.
Correct, you do. So I'm very, and I did not get a chance to play Stick of Truth, so I'm actually going to pre-order that and get that.
That would be a good idea for me to get on board, but I don't really like RPGs.
I don't. It's something that I definitely want to try out. But anyway, Oh, by the way, the Design Lab controllers, they cost $80. Like I said, the laser etching is a couple bucks more. Next, the creator of the indie game Limbo came out, and they showed a really creepy, fucked up game called We Happy Few. It looks very intriguing. They showed a very short demo. Basically, they live in this world where you have to take happy pills, and when you get off your happy pills, you actually see how fucked up the world actually is. For instance, in this demo, he's walking down this hallway and he's watching suspicious activity with these guys wearing these creepy fucking white masks. And then he walks in this room with this woman and a couple people standing around a table, and it looks like a piñata on the table. Well, he hasn't been taking his pills, and she goes, "Go ahead, break open the piñata." And you hit the piñata, and blood squirts everywhere. And he's looking at his hands, he's trying to figure out what the fuck happened, and then the screen goes black and white, and he looks down, and there's a fucking rat on the table, and all these people around the table are fucking eating the rat. Like they're fucking eating, like candy came out of it or something. And she's like, "Oh my god, you're off your meds." And then all these dudes in white creepy masks start chasing. It looked really fucking good. And I don't like horror shit, and this is looks like a great survival horror game.
Tag me in the trailer for this, because I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it looked really, really good.
When you said rat eating, I was on board.
Yeah, they did not announce a release date. They didn't even say if it was coming this year or next year. So, but that looks really good. Also, they announced that if you have Xbox Live Gold, you can download Limbo for free.
I think I have Limbo for free on PlayStation 3.
Yeah, that was like one of May's games, I think, for the PS Plus.
Which is a great service.
I never got to play Limbo, so I'm glad they made it free. So I downloaded it. I'm definitely gonna give it a shot.
Well, now when I get back home.
The majority of the rest of the show, I really wasn't too impressed. They announced they created a standalone card game called Gwent, based on a card game you were able to play in the Witcher games. They showed off Tekken 7 a little bit.
Ooh.
It features Akuma from Street Fighter.
That's multi-platform, isn't it?
Yes, that's multi-platform.
Wait, why would?
But it's going to release on the Xbox first. Because I think it's going to be a downloadable only game.
Okay.
Oh, then I'm not buying a downloadable only game.
Well, they also announced that Gold members can right now download a free copy of Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Tekken 7's release is set for 2017 and didn't give a specific date.
Wasn't Tekken Tag Tournament a PS2 launch title?
Yeah.
16 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus. Oh, wow, it makes me feel old.
Yeah. They announced the infamous Frank West is returning in a Christmas-themed Dead Rising 4 this holiday. They showed off gameplay from an original game called Scalebound. It looked terrible. It literally looked... Everybody in the room was like, this game looks really garbage. You have a pet dragon, and you fight giant, ridiculous monsters. He was fighting a giant... It looked like a crab and a scorpion put together. So, I didn't know what the fuck it was. It looked absolutely stupid, terrible, and boring.
Was the designer sexually frustrated? Oh, I got crabs. Let's put it in this fucking video game.
I don't know,
God
but
damn it, Felicia.
they teased it last year, and it looked great. And then they showed actual gameplay, and it looked like garbage. They showed a trailer for a game called Sea of Thieves from Rare Studios. It looked dumb, but then they showed the gameplay, and it looked actually like a lot of fun if you have some friends playing. It reminded me a lot of the battleship concept or combat from Assassin's Creed 4. They then showed a trailer for State of Decay 2, followed by the trailer for Halo Wars 2, which is a great strategy game. And they also announced that the Halo Wars 2 beta was going live right now. So it goes through the end of the weekend. If you haven't played it, definitely give it a shot.
Your cousin was talking about it on Facebook.
Like, yeah, seriously, my cousin and I, we were just going to try it out. Dude, this game is awesome. I'm really impressed with it. The graphics look great. Once you get there, they had some issues with the title screen. For some reason it kept freezing, but once you get past it, the gameplay is phenomenal. Halo Wars 2 launches February 21st. And then after that, Phil Spencer came out on stage for the big finale, where he talked about a little bit more about Play Anywhere, Xbox Live features such as clubs, which is basically clans, LFG, and arena mode. They also announced a tournament mode. So you can, like, whatever game you're playing, you want to play Halo, and you want to create a tournament, you can go online, create a tournament, get a bunch of people to join. So, he segued into VR and talking about the specs of the next iteration of Xbox One, and a video came on screen. A bunch of people talking about computers and memory cards and all this shit, and then the words Project Scorpio appear across the screen. So Project Scorpio is the next console coming out for Xbox. Like I said, if you're thinking about getting an Xbox One and you're going to wait for the slim line, don't get the slim line. Wait for Scorpio. It's going to be backwards compatible with everything. Xbox One games, Xbox 360 games, Xbox One accessories. For the tech geeks listening, if we have any of them out there, Project Scorpio will have a 8-core CPU from an unknown manufacturer and a graphics card with 6 teraflops of power. They claim it will be the #1 in 4K gaming. It will also have 320 gigabytes of memory bandwidth, which is awesome for online gaming. Every game is guaranteed to run at 60 frames per second, and the console will support VR gaming. By the time Scorpio launches, basically it's going to be the equivalent of a mid-range PC in 2017.
So we're finally catching up, because now
which is basically how most consoles tend to launch.
Dude, the original Xbox was powerful.
Yeah. So I'm sure the price point will be absolutely ridiculous. I'm predicting at least $600, if not more. And I'm sure it'll be in high demand, as all new consoles are when they launch.
At $600, I don't think so.
Yeah, and Phil Spencer stated the reason why they're announcing it now instead of waiting until like E3 next year is because they want developers to be able to get their hands on it and create content and games for it right now, or adapt whatever projects that they are creating now to that console. So they're really trying to get. So from what I understand, this was a worldwide announcement. Usually they tell developers and shit behind the scenes, so they can start preparing shit. Well, they announced it to the world right here. So it's slated for a release in holiday 2017. Do I believe that it will support 4K gaming? It's a stretch. I really don't, because most companies are 2-3 years away from 4K gaming. I mean, let alone 4K cable. I mean, you're years away from that shit. So it's gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna do it or not.
Dude, you can't even get 1080p on most of your cable. A lot of it's just broadcast in 720.
Exactly.
I'm watching the NBA Finals. It says it's in 720.
Yeah. I know NFL broadcasts in 1080p.
Well, the NFL's like the fucking premier broadcast of the world.
And they don't have fucking... How many teams are there in the NBA and the MLB?
I have no clue. You're asking the wrong guy. How many, Loudy?
There's 30 in the NBA, and I believe there's also 30 in Major League Baseball. So 2 more teams in the NFL.
Oh, okay.
So 32 in the NFL.
Speaking of football and shit, are you guys watching that OJ Made in America thing?
No.
I hear it's great, but I just don't give a shit. This is not a sports show. Sorry. Phil, I kind of want an Xbox Scorpio. Xbox One was just such a dump.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm the biggest Microsoft fan around, and I'm not a fan of Sony. I will agree with Dion. Sony won E3 because they did nothing but show games, and that's Microsoft blew it out of the water last year because all they did was show games. So in my opinion, Sony won this year. They really did.
They have to redeem themselves for the fucking abysmal failure that was E3 2013. Yeah. My God, that killed their fucking business. That's why they don't even report their own numbers anymore. They don't even, like Loudy, I don't know if you know this, but Microsoft refuses to release sales figures. They only release user experience information because they're their system sold like half of what the PlayStation sold.
That sounds about right, but I still play.
Sony is truly killing them right now in sales, and like I said, I'm a huge Microsoft fan, but Sony knocked it out of the park with the games. The biggest takeaway from Microsoft was the new console.
Well, if it really do everything that they're saying it's going to be able to do, I will buy one. Well, see, I'm more in line to buy a new Xbox as opposed to a PlayStation, because I don't ever upgrade my consoles. I get the first version that comes out, and that's it.
I was going to say, unless it dies, there's no point in getting a new one.
No, like, I had the original Xbox 360. I was riding that shit until it fucking broke, and then I just said to my mom, I need a new Xbox, so she bought me the Slim, and I liked it. But I'm not going to upgrade my PS4 at all.
The only reason I upgraded my 360 was because they came out with a Gears of War console, and I am a huge Gears of War fan, so I had to have it.
Phil, I feel if we would have become friends 2 to 3 years earlier, we would have been playing Gears together nonstop.
Dude, come on over. I've got the remastered edition of the first Gears. We can bust out through the horror mode.
As soon as you move...
I'm moving this weekend, dude.
Well, when you move to this end of town, I will play through the storyline with you. I fucking love Gears of War.
I should have internet by midweek next week, so...
Alright, so you'll be back on the show from your new location.
Fucking A.
Loudy, do you want to go... Phil, do you have anything else you want to add?
Microsoft, focus on games. Come on, this is what people want, you know? You focus too much on new additions and the crossplay and fucking Xbox Slim. No, we don't want to hear about that stuff on a fucking show. We want to see gameplay demos. We want to see fucking trailers, you know? Like I said, and I don't know if Dion heard it or not, Sony killed it this year. I'm a huge Microsoft fan, but Sony killed it this year.
Yeah, I heard you. It's just that whenever I hear about Microsoft, I get the incredible urge to take a dump, so I had to go off and do that.
I think I could smell it all the way down here.
Yeah, it was very Microsoft-esque, but yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, that Sony...
Did it come out of your red ring?
Oh, yeah. I had a real red rum going on.
Don't lie, you went to take a dump because you saw Paw Patrol.
That's the second generation of his family, all right? For him,
it's got to come from somewhere.
Said.
Is that it for you, Phil?
That's it for me.
All right, Loudy, you had multiplats and good stuff.
Oh yeah, multiplats. So, listener, for those of you expecting to be the best segment on here, set your expectations a little lower. I work a lot. I work a lot, so I'm on the fly here. However,
the Marty McFly?
Yes, the Marty McFly.
Yes. You mean to tell me that you don't know?
Anywho,
by now.
So, for me, one of the biggest things to pop out of E3. Now, this game isn't getting released until March of 2017, but Mass Effect Andromeda. I actually watched one of the behind-the-scenes trailers for it, and it looks fucking outstanding. This takes place, for those of you who haven't played the first 3 Mass Effects, or, have as little life as I do, and play them multiple times, takes place after the events of Mass Effect 3. Your character is now Ryder instead of Commander Shepard. From what I'm reading, though, it's still going to be the same. When I say same, I mean like similar gameplay in terms of all decision-based gimmicks and things of that nature. Let's see here. Like I said, it takes place. So one of the big things that it mentions is that where this takes place, it doesn't matter how any of your shit ended in the previous Mass Effect. This is pretty much going to be all brand new right here. One thing I'm not going to mention, though, kind of jumping around here, are the sports games. Well, everyone knows that sports games are going to be all multi-platform, so that people can enjoy them. Whereas I know Mass Effect, I can't remember offhand if the first 3 Mass Effects were PlayStation at all. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong.
1 was just Xbox, and then 2 and 3 were multi-platform, and they re-released 1 for multi-platform, I think.
I gotcha. Let's see here. Going down the list, Mafia 3 is another multi-plat. I played the first Mafia back in the day. I was a fan of it. I believe that was PS2, if I remember right when I played it, for the first Mafia. And I'm a big fan of old-timey, Godfather-y gangster shit. And so I really enjoyed that. I went to get the second one, and a lot of people said it was very disappointing. So it kind of deterred me from getting it. And I kind of wish it wouldn't have, because I'd like to take a look at Mafia 3 and see if it jumps off the events of Mafia 2 and what have you. Another game that is coming out, and again, excuse me here, that I saw was there's going to be a new Hitman coming out, PS4, PC, and Xbox One. Release date on that looks like it's going to be March 11th. We have a firm date on that, March 11th of 2016. And jumping back to Andromeda, they're looking to get it a mature rating. They want to aim it more towards a mature crowd. Just like some of the previous Mass Effects.
Nice, because I think isn't Andromeda, from what I was watching, they're going to the Andromeda Galaxy, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, that's what.
I just like saying the word Andromeda.
Are they going to run into Kevin Sorbo?
They just might. I wouldn't be surprised.
There was a good-looking Asian on that show. She was like half-Asian. She was really hot.
Was it Maggie Q?
No, it was. I can't remember her name. She was in that shitty Jason X movie.
Dude, remember the time we watched that and Hillary turned around and wouldn't... She, stared at the wall for 2 hours while we watched it? She's like,
yeah,
I don't like weird. This! I don't like this!
And we're just like, Hillary, it's a later Jason movie. They're not scary at all.
They're hilarious.
That's an understatement, dude. That movie is beyond retarded. Especially the fucking android that, takes her vagina off to wash it in the sink. Oh, wait, that's Archer. You know what I'm talking about, though. The one that fights in, the Halo costume or some shit like that.
Yeah, she gets her head knocked off.
God, that was a retarded...
That chick also was in the TV show Andromeda, by the way.
It all comes around full circle. On an off day from filming Andromeda, they made Jason X, and it shows. It was all filmed in one take.
Oh.
Those people really did die.
It was a discarded episode of Andromeda.
For as great as Beverly Hills Vice would be, that's how bad of a crossover Andromeda Jason X is.
Oh, man. Whew. Whew.
What else you got, Loudy?
Oh, shit. That's what I got. 1 second. Tiddly tits. The amazing Final Fantasy 15 that Phil was talking about earlier, that's going to be multi-plat. So, if you don't want to be disappointed on Xbox, you can be disappointed on PlayStation.
Fuck that game.
Fucking right in the asshole. Let's see here.
There's no Batman game this year.
Oh,
there's the VR game, dude.
Well, for everyone who played the very first Siberia on Xbox, Siberia 3 is going to be multi-plat. I didn't even know there was Siberia 2, let alone Siberia 3.
I've never even heard of Siberia. I heard of Siberia.
Siberia is probably one of the shittiest games I ever played.
How shitty was it?
It was so shitty that there's this one part right in the very beginning of the game where, and it's so choppy and awful, it made me want to hurt myself, where you have the option, to kiss this girl, and, you can either, let it happen, and then your guy gets killed as he's trying to escape on the whatever ship he's trying to get on, or if you decide not to kiss her, you just disappoint her, and she huffs off, and you can safely enter onto your ship and fly away.
Now, are you talking about Siberia spelled Cyberia?
I might be.
Because that game came out in 1994 for DOS and the original PlayStation and 3DO and Sega Saturn and FM Towns.
That might be the one that I'm talking about. Here we go. November 15th, 2016. Mark your calendar, gang. Watch Dogs 2.
Oh, shit.
Boo, fuck that game.
I never played Watch Dogs 1.
You, Phil.
What?
Fuck you, Phil.
Fuck you.
No. I've got someone to do that for me. I'm good.
Fuck you, asshole.
She says that.
Fuck you.
You say fuck your asshole?
No, that does not happen. Let's see here. So, yeah. You don't get to play as the guy that you play as in the first one. And that, I know, makes me sound super intelligible because I played the game and loved it, and I can't remember who he is. Oh, Aiden Pierce.
Play as a black guy.
Whoa. Yeah, so you don't get to play as Aiden Pierce in this one. But let's go in here. Let's see here. Watch Dogs better than the original, apparently. How many times?
They showed
What?
gameplay on stage. It looks stupid.
So is it going to be like the first Watch Dogs where they show you footage at E3, it's super powerful, but then you buy it and it looks like a piece of shit?
More than likely. Now, see, I'm gonna argue that because I actually enjoyed the first Watch Dogs, though I did.
You
kind of,
and 6 other people enjoyed that game.
I know.
Yeah,
me
my
and-
cousin is one of them.
As a matter of fact, you asshole, all 7 of us are getting together tomorrow to catch a fucking drink. So suck my dick. Anyways.
Bro, dude, I had a great day at work today, but dude, I played Watch Dogs again, and even though I really, whatevs, I fucking made the cop car run into the train this time. Bro.
They also announced a Watch Dogs movie, by the way.
All right, now we're just getting out of hand here, guys.
I don't. It's like, come on, that exists. It's a show on USA called Mr. Robot.
Which you're a huge fan of it.
Which, yes, it's a great show, but it doesn't need to be a movie.
Well, I won't go see the movie or play the game.
Yeah. So you know what? I probably will, just because I'm one of those guys. Like when I start some type of series, I have to finish it. So I'll be getting Andromeda. I'll be getting. I'll
Probably get Andromeda. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, absolutely. I'll probably end up getting Watch Dogs 2 at some point. Though I've kind of tapered off on the Final Fantasy thing. I'm not gonna get fucking 11 through 15, and I refuse to buy all 3 parts of 13 because that's just ridiculous.
I never realized what a nerd you were, Loudy, until right now.
Yeah. It's like oh, sports, video games.
No, it's sports, weird video games. Like, I could understand if you're, like, playing Madden or wrestling or, anything, something with a gun. You're like, oh, Final Fantasy. I want to run around as a fluffy-haired white guy with no dick.
A white guy made by Asian people.
This is going to be the most xenophobic thing I've ever said on the show, but Asian people make some weird shit.
Hey, you know what? We got problems.
You can't even claim that. Like, you're
I just
so...
did, motherfucker.
Let me rephrase that. Japanese people.
Hey, again. Hello.
You are a white dude with a red beard, all right?
Wearing
the best person I would
bunch
say
of
is
black
Japanese.
guys on your T-shirt.
I am 1/4 Japanese. Did you ever get to meet my grandma? She's this 4 foot, like 10.5 Japanese woman who speaks broken English.
No, I've never met your mom.
Yeah,
Well,
yes, you have, haven't you?
No.
Oh,
Well, Jeff,
goddamn.
we've been looking for an Asian for the show.
Well, I mean, Samoa's close enough, right?
I'm
Yeah.
Samoan. They moved from Japan.
I'm learning a whole bunch of new shit. I'm learning about Watch Dogs, the history of Samoan people. Steph Curry looks like a bitch. All these things I'm learning about. This is a night that I'm expanding my brain power. I want to thank you guys for it.
Because you look like
But the one thing that will remain the same, Final Fantasy sucks balls.
And
7 is the only good Final Fantasy.
And
Hey, I'll
the
get
dick,
8.
and the taint,
Yep,
and the foreskin
yep. And the hemorrhoid that's inside the butthole.
of Dustin.
Yeah!
Um,
See, Loudy, that's how you hit the softball.
I
See how
bet
he
it is.
immediately went with the Dustin joke?
You hit a lot of softballs, don't you, Dion?
Oh,
Don't
Bart.
threaten me with a good time.
Oh man,
Loudy, what else you got? Anything?
that's all I got. Like I said, I apologize.
You
Yeah,
got?
I told
Don't need to apologize. You
I
got
told
way
you.
more than Nintendo had.
Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way: as far as multi consoles go, EA's show was terrible, absolutely boring.
Well, EA is going to have their own conference like next week or something.
They already had it.
Oh, that was this week?
Yeah, they had it on Sunday
Oh.
before the day before E3. It
Um,
was garbage.
well, EA used to be my favorite video game company when I was a little kid because they made James Bond games. And then I got older and realized they fucking suck. They don't even release full games anymore. The worst is Ubisoft. I can't believe they're such a huge publisher nowadays because Assassin's Creed's garbage. What's their other big franchise?
Oh, so glad they didn't announce another Assassin's Creed game.
They ran that thing into the fucking ground.
All they did was talk about the movie.
Well, like I said, I want the movie to be successful so they make more video game movies, but I want that one to flop for so many reasons because it looks so bad. Like,
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender doesn't even
It-
look convincing.
It looks really. They were showing like behind the scenes stuff. It looked bad.
If I was in the crowd, I'd be like, "This is E3 for video games, not movies. Say that shit for Comic-Con." I would have screamed like, "That's in a month, bitch!" I would have just kept screaming it. Like, "Sorry, you need to leave." "Nah, man, I ain't leaving. I paid for this shit." I would say, I represent IGN.
8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna recommend that shit for the next year, alright?
Don't fuck with me, dude. I'll give you a goddamn 6 out of 10. Don't fuck with me.
I will tweet your game is broken. I will tweet it.
There's a fucking weapon in my hands. Fucking the sword and the pen and all that shit. I'm IGN, goddammit.
Trying to do like some awful Mickey Mouse impersonation right now.
No, goddammit, now!
You guys are gonna get it, haha!
Dion, I'm so glad you understand all the stupid references.
Dion, put the goddamn purity ring on, haha!
Loudy, you scare me.
Calm down, Mickey Mouse. Calm down.
I'm gonna scare a lot of people.
Wow.
Butt raped?
That was good.
Yeah, I do a lot of impersonations. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
You should never talk like that in front of Dion's kid. He'll shit his pants again. He fucking loves Elmo, right? Or did.
Yeah, no, he still loves Elmo. He will be like, why is Elmo coming from this, I'm guessing, somewhat redheaded white dude in front of me?
Somewhat
Must be
redheaded.
the lighting, because I don't think I have red hair.
You should call his kid as Elmo. That would be awesome.
His birthday's in
I just want to wish you a happy birthday.
Just call him tomorrow and wish him a happy birthday. He's 2. He won't know the difference.
No, you gotta say something really. You gotta say something really fucked up, Loudy.
I'm a fucking Norse people.
You gotta say how Elmo's going away to jail and he just wants to say goodbye to his friend. He may not make it on the inside. He's got a special present.
Elmo's got a photo. Yay!
Oh my god.
I'm gonna need to tell him to stop watching Paw Patrol.
So you guys want to hear about the failure that is Nintendo?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
So Nintendo has one game coming out this year.
Oh my god.
Seriously, just one fucking game. Just Dance 2017.
2014.
Sorry, I'm so triggered right now by Nintendo's lack of quality.
That's how shitty Nintendo is. They're just releasing Just Dance 2014.
Okay, and here's the thing. I'm bringing this point up first, Loudy, because it's a multi-plat. It's on Xbox One, PS4, PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, and the original Wii.
Oh.
Yes, Dion, your face is classic. This game, just
Really?
2017, is being released for the fucking Wii, and it'll be out on the NX next year. So this is the first Nintendo game that'll be on 3 generations of platforms.
Jesus Christ.
It's a stupid idea, I think.
Yeah.
First
Let
off,
it die.
The Wii is the reason I don't own a Wii U. That is Nintendo. You fucked your biggest fan over. When I was a little kid, I went to school, and all I could dream about is getting out of school to play Nintendo. I got my Nintendo 64. All I did is think about that shit. I would write essays in school about how much I loved my Nintendo 64. And then the GameCube came out, and I was kind of disappointed. And then the Wii came out, and it just fucking ruined everything. So then the Wii U comes out, and you have some decent games, but it's a shit system. And now we get this whole announcement, and this is why I'm building up this way, about the NX. Have you guys heard the bad news about the NX?
I have not.
There's more?
Oh, there's more bad news. This comes from the horse's mouth, Reggie Fils-Aimé, who looks like a fucking horse. Basically, I ripped this off of IGN, so suck a dick if you are IGN. But it says Nintendo is more focused on delivering great content than making a great console. We're not worried about teraflops. We're worried about the future. So whatever Microsoft and Sony are doing in terms of taking new systems, we're gonna take the fight out of that red ocean, whatever that means. I guess it's gonna be violent, but here's the thing, Nintendo. If you cannot compete with the other consoles, multi-platform games will not be released on your system, and you're gonna scare away people like me because I don't want to spend $300-400, okay, $300 on a Nintendo system to play Mario. Like, your games haven't been innovative in 20 years. Mario now is not as good as Mario in 1991. Zelda now is not as good as Zelda from 1998.
I mean, literally, the last good game that they made probably was, what, Twilight Princess?
For Zelda, yeah.
Yeah, and that's pushing it.
I loved that game. Speaking of Zelda, the one game they showed at their press conference was Zelda. It was just Zelda. Never has an E3 consisted of one game from a company.
Well, to be fair, Nintendo really didn't have a press conference. They've chosen to stay away from press conferences. I don't know why.
Because they have no... Phil, I just answered because they have nothing. They're a fucking joke. Like if you're listening to this show and going, oh, you guys are just Nintendo haters. You just don't like quality. Zelda, Miyamoto, blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up.
What quality?
Nintendo has been comfortable since the success of the Wii, and they haven't innovated for jack shit. If they would actually listen to their fan base, what the people seem to want is they want a powerful Nintendo system with great first-party games, a normal controller, no fucking gimmicks, and third-party support that rivals the other two consoles. Make that your next Nintendo, and people are going to come fucking running.
Well, plus, the thing that pisses me off, well, we're not worried about consoles. Then what do you have that's going to keep your name relevant so when you come out with something, people are going to buy it? At the very least, you should at least allow games to be on that platform. At least make something that can play a game that's comparable to what's on PlayStation and Xbox, but you're waiting for, oh well, we're going out the red fucking ocean or whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. So whatever innovation you're working on, if it's down the road, no one's gonna care by the time that shit happens.
And Dion, if you buy into the Nintendo hype and drink their Kool-Aid, you bought a Wii U, and now you're sitting around with a system that's gonna have one fucking game this year.
Seriously.
And it's
then
going
to be obsolete in a year after that.
I can go out and get the same game that you're going to get for your newer system on a Wii that I bought 10 years ago.
Exactly. I mean, you're sitting there, you got Microsoft and Sony, they're in high definition gaming, they're in online gaming. It's like Nintendo's just scratching the surface of online. The Wii U went live with online gaming 2 years ago, and it's barely touching high definition. It's like, you need to step up your game, bring out a better console, and then announce some more fucking games. One game that's going to sink your company into the ground.
In Nintendo, high definition and online gaming aren't gimmicks. It's a way of life. All of us have high-def TVs. You can't even buy standard-def TVs anymore, Nintendo.
Nope.
And everyone has the fucking internet. My grandma has the internet.
Even if you just wanted to come up with something that played, I guess, playable games, just make a console for the streaming services, because that's the fucking future. If anything, TV's fucking dying by the wayside. At least make a console that has Netflix and Hulu, maybe HBO Go, and can kind of play a few games. I mean, if anything, you need to get on that bandwagon. But we're waiting for fucking Jesus to come back and say that Nintendo's the best fucking system ever. You're gonna fucking be dead by then. You're gonna be only making goddamn games for the fucking iPhone if you keep this shit up.
And he said unto my children, Nintendo is coming.
Let's play a game of Mario Party.
No, let's play fucking, what's that Splatoon where you don't even shoot people, you shoot colored ink, because Nintendo's family friendly. I'm gonna say this on the show where people can hear me. I think most Nintendo fans that I meet are fucking weird. Just weird is the perfect word for it. They're socially awkward. They're not outspoken. They're just kind of there. And they like the dumbest shit. And Nintendo's like the cherry on that shit sundae that they're into. I know tons of people from comic book stores and other... E3 2012, 13, whatever, I went to play the new Mario Kart. I went to this Best Buy. They had they didn't have an E3 that year. They had a Best Buy game demo thing. So Dan and I went and you had to sign up and we waited. And the people I met were some of the oddest fucking people I've ever met. It's like they didn't grow up mentally. They're just adults in body only. And I think Nintendo is like that. I mean, they're this mature company that's been around since the 1800s, but mentally they're as stubborn as a 2-year-old, They don't grow. People don't want their shit. The Wii U is their biggest flop. I'm going to pull up the Wii U sales figures right now. The Wii U has sold less than any other Nintendo home console. It's not even... debatable.
Well, I don't even think the Nintendo fans are just weird. I think they're pretentious as fuck, and I think that's what Nintendo is doing. They're just this pretentious company that, and I'll even draw a conclusion. Nintendo is the WWE of the video game world. The only difference is that they have competition. This pretentious ass way of living where they're anything that they've garnered since the Wii has been on name recognition alone. I mean, they haven't done anything innovative, but they expect you to just buy Nintendo shit because it says Nintendo on the fucking package. And their fans are the same way. These pretentious ass fans, Nintendo fans, that, oh, well, we have Mario and Zelda. Yeah, who haven't done anything innovative in fucking 9 years. So I'm supposed to be impressed because you're a fan of Nintendo, a company that literally has admitted that they have fucked up their recent console, a company that's admitted that, we're not focusing on console sales right now. Who the fuck does that? What company does that when their two biggest rivals, at least the biggest rival, Sony, is killing it right now? Who the fuck does that?
They announced a long time ago that they were in trouble, Dion. They were failing so hard with, their main franchise is Mario. They were failing so hard, they took it back to a 2D format just to get people to come back to it. With the new I liked the new Super Mario Brothers. I thought it was good. I liked the 3D rendering and how it went into the 2D gaming. That was fun. That was literally the last game I bought on the Wii. And that was one of the...
You create your own levels and shit?
That's Super Mario Maker.
Oh.
That's a fun game.
I'm talking about the original Wii.
Oh, the original Wii, my bad.
That game
you can play as is 4-person, you can play as Toad or whatever.
Right, yeah.
I liked it better when it was on the... I liked it better when it was on the DS.
That came out the first...
That's how much I played Nintendo consoles that I didn't even know that existed for the Wii.
That came out the first year or two of the Wii's existence, and that was literally the last Wii game I bought.
Dude, when the Wii came out, I was playing my original Xbox, alright?
Wow, you were that dated?
Yeah.
Dude, that Wii came out when I was a senior at Elder, so we knew we were friends. It was the height of our friendship.
Right.
I had an Xbox 360 and a Wii. As soon as I finished Zelda...
Xbox 360 until I went to college.
Dude, when I went to college... dude, it was awesome. I knew this guy on my floor that needed money, and he's like, hey, Jeff, I'm kind of broke, and I thought he was going to ask me to borrow money. He's like, you want to buy my PS3 for $175 with Assassin's Creed? I said, of course I do. So I bought a PS3 for the first couple months of college for that cheap, and I barely played it.
Man.
It was my Blu-ray player when I had a standard def TV still.
When the tube TVs were still popular. I still have 3 of those motherfuckers.
Let's hold on to them. Retro gamers and all these hipsters will want them, because VHS is back.
Hey, I still have a VHS DVD player.
So do I, but you know what? I'm not watching it because it's an obsolete technology.
I'm afraid to use it because I'm afraid the VHSs that I have are going to break because they've been in my family that long. And they're British comedies, so, I mean, I don't know if you guys ever seen Red Dwarf or anything, but I have those on VHS.
I have seen Red Dwarf.
I actually do like Red Dwarf. I was going to judge you with the whole British comedy thing until you said Red Dwarf. I was like, okay, I'll give him a chance.
I like British comedies, but that show just wasn't one that I was into.
I liked it.
Well, Jeff, that's because you're a smeghead. And you always will be a smeghead.
The smeghead means smegma? A.k.a. dick cheese?
Doesn't get it, Dion.
It was a Red Dwarf joke.
I know it's a Red Dwarf joke. I just choose not to laugh.
I just refuse to acknowledge it.
You dick.
Speaking of innovation and shit, Dion, to jump back to what you said, this new Zelda game came out. I know Phil said you said you were excited, but I watched it and I went, oh my god, it's Skyrim 5 years later.
Skyrim or Skyward Sword?
No, Skyrim. It's the same fucking premise. Look, all you're doing is running around outside picking up shit, and it was so fucking annoying. You had to hear those, the little musical notes that played every time you pick up an item. Oh, this is what this does. The game stops playing. It's like Nintendo's so trying to get these little kids on board, but when 60% of video game people, or most of the gaming audience is 35 and older, I mean, stop trying to go for the kids.
Well, that's fucking the same thing that drives me crazy about Nintendo and WWE. This stubborn assumption, not even a belief, this assumption that going for the younger crowd is going to automatically mean that you'll just be rolling around in money. And that's not the fucking case. But then even that they know this. It's everything that they've tried has failed. Not everything has failed, but 75%, 3/4 of what that Nintendo's done has either failed or underperformed. But you're not going to be a successful company, especially if you're going to compete against Microsoft and Sony when you're making fucking child games. When the most relevant franchise you have is a fucking dance game. When you make a fucking baby party game too, your priorities are fucked up.
Remember the fiasco that was Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo?
Oh my god!
The Sega Genesis had blood in the blood code, and I had the Super Nintendo version. It was like brown mist that came off the characters. It was retarded looking, and Nintendo's image has suffered really. For the last decade or so, they've released underpowered systems with poor support, and the first party is usually on point, but when your game library is just full of shit, like the Wii was, and then the Wii U's game library is empty, so it's the exact opposite, I don't know what the NX is supposed to be. I mean, what excuse are they... basically what they said is an excuse to, don't expect it to be that powerful. You know what, Reggie? Fuck you, I ain't buying it. Like, in my mind, I know what I want out of a new Nintendo. I don't want any fucking gimmick. I don't want any goddamn innovation. I'm using quotations when I say that. The Wii's gimmick fucking died out quick. You have a Wii, Dion. You played it for a little bit. You got tired of that shit. I can't tell you how many times I got tired of waving my fucking arm around trying to swing a sword or do something. When on the Xbox, I just press X.
Well, not only that, but the Wii, the last time I played when you and Dustin were up and we were trying to play fucking Mario Party or whatever. I mean, that game was designed specifically for having at least 3 or 4 people over. Who the fuck has that many people over that often? Number one, you're not gonna want to play with 4 people. Sometimes you just want to grab the controller and play a fucking video game without this gimmick bullshit. And Nintendo, first we have the Wii. Okay, cool. Xbox and PlayStation come out with a wireless controller. Okay, well then we'll come out with a controller that has the screen on it, and it's a separate thing that you have to do on the screen, and then it does on the TV. It's like, just fucking make a controller. Just make a system where I can put a disc in and fucking play it. And that's it. What's so difficult about it?
And Nintendo has some of the best controllers in all of gaming.
Yeah.
The Super Nintendo, the NES.
The Super Nintendo controller is fucking awesome. The Nintendo controller is fucking awesome.
I love the N64 controller.
I was going to say, even the N64 controller, as weird as it was such a good controller.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I consider the best controller the PlayStation DualShock, because it's... Realistically, they haven't had to change it in almost 20 years.
Like, well, yeah, that controller was specifically designed for, like, not having to move any distance, but even so, and the N64 controller was more of a brand thing. It just looked weird, and you could point it out of a fucking lineup instantly.
The silhouette.
Yeah, I mean, just based on the silhouette.
Well, I was a kid that had both N64 and PlayStation, and back then, both controllers were fucking awesome. I never went, man, I hate this controller. No, it's, back then all the controllers were great, the systems were great. They had their own identities. Like N64. Oh my god, I can't go on about how much I love that system.
I miss mine.
Dude, I'm looking at mine right now. It's got GoldenEye in it.
Yeah, mine's sitting behind my entertainment center.
Mine died in the Great Sewage Flood of 2009, so all I have left are my games.
Oh.
Well,
go to a retro store, you fucking pussy.
As I say, go buy a new one there. You could probably find one for like $20-$30.
I know a guy that's
midnight. I don't want to hear it.
I know a guy that's selling his for $40, Loudy, with 2 games and 2 controllers on Facebook. If you want me to send you his information, I know him. He's legit.
It's tempting. I might have to look at that tomorrow.
PayPal, motherfucker.
I give it 5 to 10 years. Nintendo won't even be a contender anymore. They're going to be doing strictly handheld games and handheld consoles. I don't see them ever catching up to Sony and Microsoft. I think the Wii U is their last console. I think the NX turns out to be a handheld.
Well, and all the Nintendo fans are going to come to their defense. Oh, they don't need to be like Microsoft and Sony. Yeah, but they kind of want to sell some consoles. Nintendo sold was it 12.6 million Wii U's, and the PS2 has sold like 40 million, I think.
Out of the fucking water.
And the Wii U's been out way longer.
Yeah, a year and a half. Well, not a year and a half, just a year.
I mean, it's they want to defend these consoles. Oh, Nintendo, you just don't. You know what? Fuck that. It's Nintendo. If you want to fucking make money, you need to step into the light and you need to do what everybody else is doing, or come up with something innovative and inventive on your own, or you're gonna fail. Like WWE. They won't. They stick to that like Dion said. They stick to that fucking kid audience, and it's doing is driving it in the ground. Dion and Jeff are huge. They used to be huge wrestling fans, and now they don't even fucking watch it anymore. They watch the pay-per-views at somebody else's house. Well, I mean, Dion watches it at home, but Jeff watches it at my house.
Well, even then, I specifically stream it online. I don't watch it on the network. I have access to the network. I stream it because it's like I'm not gonna give them.
I'll give you my
anything.
I'll give you my login if you want the network.
No, I got it from Dan, so I still have the network. But and even that's a perfect example. Another perfect example. It's like so the network. Even then they're fucking a lot of content up because they want it to be family friendly. And then you go back to going back to Nintendo, it's the same thing. They have Nintendo fans are you don't appreciate how innovative the Wii was, blah 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 blah. But it's like, but when the PS3 and the Xbox came out, was it like a 9 months later or maybe a year later? The graphics automatically were fucking better than the Wii.
Year later, Dion, there was a week between the PS3 and the Wii. And the 360 came out. It was a week, and the whole.
Oh wow!
Okay, and the 360 came out a month later.
No, a year before, dude. Xbox 360, no one remembers, came out in 2005, and it was a massive flop.
Oh,
Everyone was shitting on it because it looked just like the first Xbox, and then not until the next year when the came out.
Yep.
And then it started to look better. I mean, the system came out in like November of 2005, and it's a fucking testament of success that system, you can still get games for it, like new games. That was a huge success for Microsoft. The PS3 was a mild success for Sony. And I think it sold in the end the same as the Xbox. And the PS4 is just a fucking massive success. But Nintendo has...
the PS3 did catch up.
Oh yeah, the PS3 caught up pretty fast.
I'll tell you this, the Wii
was something.
The Wii U ain't catching up, ever.
No.
But even then, like, how automatically it was obsolete. It was rendered obsolete on graphics alone. That fucking shitty 3D Avatar thing got so old so fast, and it sold so many units so fast, but then automatically bang, obsolete. PS3 and Xbox 360 overtake it, and it's like that should have been right. And that's what amazes me about Nintendo and WWE. The fucking reality is staring them in the face, and they just say, "Nope, not gonna do it. Not gonna."
Nintendo, Nintendo, we are begging you, give us a 1080p, 60 frame per second Legend of Zelda. Give us a console rendition of Pokemon, 60 frames per second, 1080p. Those games would look fucking beautiful. And you are just fucking wasting your money on those franchises. You're burying them. You're just burying it all.
You have motherfucking Samus.
You're in Japan! You're in Japan! Doesn't great things come from that side of the world?
You have Samus. You have make a new Samus game.
Great
make a new Metroid game.
Yeah, new Metroid.
Like, fucking do something new with that. People would lose their shit if it came out on a new console. And it was a great Metroid game.
Dude, I remember, like, the countdown to the GameCube. All I could think about was playing fucking Super Smash Bros. Melee and watching WWF versus WCW at Survivor Series. Like, that was my entire life. And when the GameCube came out, I was not disappointed at first. I was fucking jazzed. I waited in line. I got Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. It looked amazing. The PS2 is actually less powerful than the GameCube. But Nintendo's restrictions and stupid controller design and lack of third-party support and the proprietary discs they chose really ruined the GameCube's third-party support and ruined my interest, like, I couldn't play Grand Theft Auto on a Nintendo, ever. You've never been able to play. Oh, Chinatown Wars, fuck you. No, but I've never been able to play a console Grand Theft Auto on a Nintendo system. Well, that's my favorite franchise, so I ain't buying Nintendo. I can't get wrestling games on Nintendo. I can't get... If I want to play Rock Band and shit, can't get that on Nintendo. The shit I want to play doesn't come out on Nintendo, so Jeff doesn't need a Nintendo anymore, because Mario...
And even on top of that,
doing it.
They refuse to. It's not like that they can't get the support. They're doing this weird brand thing. It's so fucking weird. You know, we want our own games, blah 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 blah, and it's like, okay, but you have to fucking make some.
It's like a car. You know, Aston Martin is different from Toyota, which is different from Fiat and Chevy and all this other shit. But they all have common components. Like, they all need to run on gasoline. It's like Nintendo thinks they're going to run on hopes and dreams. No. They need to get their fucking shit straight, and they need to have... You need to be comparable in a fucking marketplace. Like my t-shirts. If I was selling you t-shirts on, like, rice paper, and everyone else was selling you cotton t-shirts, I ain't going to be in business for long at all. Like, I can put a cool picture on that rice paper, but you put that shit on, you'll sweat it right off. Nintendo is just giving you bullshit. I mean, all they're doing is selling amiibos, and all they're doing is...
oh my god, even that whole fiasco, where it's like, you know, they're trying to create this reemergence of the Pokemon fad with amiibos. You know, in some games, well, you can play as this character in this Wii U game, but you need an amiibo to do it. And it's like, no one wants a fucking accessory. The only accessory that you should buy for a console is the goddamn controller. Like, that is fucking crazy to me. And they keep pushing it like, oh, you can get a limited edition amiibo for, you know, Disney Infinity or whatever. It's like nobody, even the kids you're trying to sell that to don't want that shit. They just want the newest and craziest game.
And little kids aren't even the ones that are going for the amiibos. And this isn't a dig at you, Phil, so don't take it this way.
Exactly.
But it's like weird idiots that are like lining up. And like, okay, I went to Toys R Us once after the gym because I just wanted to see what was new, like from NECA, because they were releasing that Batman. Remember, Dion, the one I was going nuts for back in
Yeah.
So I was looking at Toys R Us, trying to find that, seeing what they had out. And there was a line of people, and these people sort of like, you need to get to the back of the line. I'm like, for what? They're like, we're here for amiibos. I'm like, fuck Nintendo and fuck all of you. And I walked right into the store. I didn't get in the back of the line. And then they were all like rushing to the back to get Mega Man and some other shit. And they all looked at me. I'm like, I told you I wasn't here to buy amiibos. And they were just all like nectar people that didn't have, I don't know. They were just, their priorities were so fucked up, and they just looked like the kind of people you don't want to interact with.
That fucking pretension, man. That fucking pretension.
And they all looked broke as a joke, too. Like, what are they pretentious about? You don't bring anything to any marketplace, people. Like, you just lay around and play Nintendo. Oh, I got a piece of plastic, but I don't have a car. It's like, okay, whoop these shit, dude. Like, just fuck off. You can tell that this episode, I don't like a lot of Nintendo fans.
Rightfully so.
The old ones are cool. Like, hey, you remember buying a Commando or Ghosts and Goblins? Yeah, dude, I do remember those games. I wasn't born when they came out, but I do know them.
See, I bought the amiibos simply because they looked good. Like, the detail on them is phenomenal. And I'm not buying them to play it in a game, and I'm not buying them because they're worth a shitload of money. I'm just buying them because I collect the game statues. I collect a lot of them. And I've literally, when I was packing all this shit up, I'm like, holy shit, I have a lot of fucking statues. But the amiibos, they look so, I don't know a better word to describe it. They rendered them so well, and it's like, why can't you do this well with fucking everything? It's like, you're doing so well making these little statues for $12.99. I mean, you can't fucking mass produce them. You can't keep them on the shelves. But they look great, and the technology in them is really good, too.
Well, not only that, but it's like, little kids don't appreciate that shit.
Right, and they don't.
Little kids want toys. They don't want fucking statues. But fucking older people want that shit. Now, if you wanted to make a game that was really cool, but you could integrate amiibos into that as well as have them as collector's items, that would make sense, because older fans enjoy that shit. But to fucking think that children are going to say, Mommy, for Christmas, I want the Mega Man amiibo more than I want a fucking game for PlayStation 4. You're fucking kidding yourself.
And you know, Dion, they're shooting themselves in the foot. You said about the perfect example. Here you go. This is where Nintendo's leaving money on the table, and that's the biggest mistake in business. Wii U, Pokemon game. Release every Pokemon as an amiibo. There you go.
Boom.
Everyone would go nuts for that shit. See?
How many
Jesus
fucking
Christ.
Pokemon are they up to now?
Like 880 or some shit.
Yeah.
And you,
Right.
Gonna be broke.
and you know how many...
Well, no, I simply wanted the Smash Brothers amiibos. That was it. I didn't want anything more than that. They've got the fucking Animal Crossing and the Splatoon and all that. No, I just wanted the Smash Brothers amiibo. I'm 6 away from completing my collection, and when I get those, I'll be done.
Who do you need?
Oh, I don't even remember. They're packed in a box, so I can't see them. I know I need Palutena. I need Ryu. Cloud. Couple of Robin.
Zach.
They make a Batman one?
They made a Batman one?
You said Robin.
No, Robin from Fire Emblem.
I don't play that bullshit.
He's a Smash Brothers character. That's why I want him. Complete the set and I'm done. I don't want any of the other ones.
I don't.
I bought the 30th anniversary edition of Mario. But
Well, that one looked cool because it was 8-bit.
Yeah, it's a nostalgia item. Plus, it unlocked extra shit in Mario Maker. So
That's the one thing Nintendo has going for it is the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you were talking about you want a 1080p 60 frame a second Zelda game. There's a dude online that's remaking Zelda in the fucking Unreal Engine.
yeah, I've seen that.
Make
it looks
that
amazing.
Shit.
It looks
Holy
amazing.
shit.
Make that, I'll buy a Nintendo NX. But no, I don't want to play a fucking watercolor version of Skyrim that doesn't even look interesting. Oh my god, Link can take a steak and mushrooms and make a skewer. Like, whatever happened to picking up fucking hearts? What was wrong with picking up hearts in Zelda? That's not the kind of innovation I want. Oh, you can cook items to make yourself new health.
I was just say you mentioned watercolors. Yeah, they did that, Jeff. Remember Super Mario Sunshine with a fucking water cannon as your main weapon?
Oh god.
That's when Nintendo started getting retarded.
Which, I mean, I'm sorry, I enjoyed the game, but after that, it's like, you know, what the fuck are you doing anymore?
You talked about Vince McMahon dying. I want all these fucking Nintendo dudes to go away. They don't have to die. They just need to retire.
Didn't the main one die?
Well, Iwata wasn't the main one. When he died, people were like, "Oh my god, he did so much for the industry." No, he kind of fucked a lot of shit up. But Miyamoto's the guy that you're thinking
A
of.
lot of fucking up.
Nintendo can just suck some dicks. They are
Yeah.
garbage. I'll go down to like the video game aisle at Toys R Us sometimes, and I just breeze right past the Nintendo section.
You know what I'd rather have instead of a new Nintendo?
What?
I'd rather have a new Sega Genesis console.
Yeah, Dreamcast 2.
Fucking A.
Fucking anything. And you brought up the whole nostalgia thing. If they really wanted to take advantage of that, that would be the motherfucking perfect way to do it. Here's the Dreamcast, or just rename it the Dreamcast. Here's the Dreamcast. It's blah, 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 blah. It has this and it has that, and it rivals the fucking PS4. Like, that would be fucking crazy awesome.
Wasn't the Dreamcast the first one to introduce online play?
Yes, it was.
Yeah?
God. So really, it is Nintendo.
Fucking, just bank on that shit.
Sega invented that.
Whatever went wrong with Sega? Why did they go bankrupt?
Oh my god, I'm reading the book on it right now. It's way more involved.
They made a lot of dumb shit.
They're basically how Nintendo's doing right now.
They did a lot of dumb shit.
Like I said, give it 5 to 10 years. I say Nintendo's under the table. They're barely
obviously like the game outside of the game quality. Then they spent a lot of money on Sega CD, and then they made it. They made the fucking attachment to it. But then
I was gonna say I know Sega CD was a big flop.
But then the attachment to it cost like $1,000 fucking dollars or something like that. It was nuts. It was nuts. Like, they were the highest selling console at one time. Not highest selling, highest costing console at one time, and it was a piece of shit.
There was some weird, like, hybrid one that you're talking about. It had all the things together. It wasn't like the normal console, but it was all the things. I know what you're talking about. It's a really rare thing. That's why it's expensive.
Yeah.
But Sega went away for dumb reasons. Nintendo's in that same boat.
I mean, fuck, I don't want to play my 3DS anymore. You know, I used to love playing Pokemon games. I don't give a shit about Sun and Moon, to be honest. When I was packing my shit the other day, I was like, oh, fuck, I found my Game Boy Advance SP. I kept that shit out. I'm going to play that. I'm not going to play Pokemon anymore. Fuck that.
I don't
I'm gonna
give
play it
Nintendo money. I'll just play emulators and ROMs of old Nintendo games in high def. Like, there's nothing else they can
You said
offer
you were
me.
gonna send me one of your Super Nintendo emulator.
Yeah, I'll just...
Will you bring the download when you come on Sunday?
Yeah, I'll put it on a flash drive for you. All I have to do is copy and drop it in.
That'd be great.
Then buy yourself a USB controller. I bought a USB Super Nintendo controller. You'll never know the difference.
Doesn't have any lag?
No, it looks actually better because there's filters and you can upscale the graphics and shit. And you can pause it, and do all kinds of shit. It's a nice stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Super Nintendo definitely was their best supported system.
It was one I never really got to play, but I would love to go back and play a lot of those older games.
You got the best Mario. You got a lot of great... I like Mega Man X and Donkey Kong Country are my two favorite games on that system. N64 was good, but I still like it more than the PlayStation. It just wasn't as supported. And some of the N64 games suffered when you played, okay, N64 wrestling games, No Mercy's the best one, but if you compare WrestleMania 2000 to SmackDown 1, SmackDown had real music, real videos, better graphics. It was just so hard to, they were so different. PlayStation had so many things over the N64. The only thing N64 really had was no load times and smoother textures.
Yeah.
But some of the choices you had, Resident Evil, didn't have any of the motion video and all this other shit. So you're getting gimped games even back then when your system was more powerful. I don't know. I didn't even say 5 to 10 years. I say if this cycle is a flop, if the NX isn't something
this could
mass
kill them.
market
This could
once,
fucking kill them. Yep.
I think their consumer confidence is at an all-time low. I mean, for me personally, a guy who used to fucking line up for 13 hours to buy a Nintendo, I wouldn't even take a free Wii U. I would return that shit for store credit.
Do you think that if the NX flops, that the company will eliminate not only home consoles but handheld consoles as well?
I don't want that to happen, but I do at the same time, because I would love if Sony's just hey, sign a contract with us, all the exclusive Nintendo titles come to the PlayStation. I think everyone would be a lot happier.
Well, I just feel handheld is their moneymaker right now, And Sony, Sony doesn't even talk about the Vita anymore.
It's not even supported.
Oh, the Vita's not supported anymore?
It hasn't been for years. They called it a legacy console 2 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And the Vita was a good damn system, too.
I still have mine.
I mean, I have a PSP one, the original one, and it was kind of shitty. But I played Paul's Vita quite a bit, and it felt great. I wish it would have been more successful, because that would have been something I would have invested in, that crossplay between PS4 and the Vita. Yeah. That was impressive. The shit looked good.
The Vita would have been a great way to take your VR on the go.
Yeah, that actually would have been a really phenomenal idea.
I don't know, give me the Nintendo VR. That was pretty portable.
Fuck the fucking Nintendo VR.
Virtual Boy? Dan had that.
Oh, man, if you ever wanted a headache really fucking fast, put that goddamn thing on.
Does he still have it?
It's really lightweight, too, if I remember right. You're just, sitting on the bus playing it, right?
Yeah, laddie, you brought your kitchen table on the bus, too, with a fucking power cord, because that shit ate up battery life.
Sitting on the bus playing it, fucking, you missed your stop.
Oh god, I'm gonna throw my life away just to play Mario Tennis in red dots.
I'm about to say to see everything in fucking red.
You know what? This is what Darth Vader's life is like, and I don't like it.
You take your VR on the bus while you're playing Crazy Bus.
I would kill myself.
This is so realistic.
Wow, an 8-bit game in 2009. How original.
Holy shit.
Alright, enough about Nintendo. I'm tired of hearing about them sorry fucks.
Do you guys do indie games or anything like that?
A couple. The free ones that'll pop up on the PSN.
I don't even do that kind of shit.
The We Are the Few, that's the... You want to do a reaction and watch it? It's not long.
That's what she said.
Well, why don't... you want us to all do it?
Yeah, why not?
Alright, put the link in the description.
Hold on.
Or not the description, but in the Twitter. Sorry, the Skype. God damn,
I say you're just mixing all your shit up.
You're right there, Grant.
I was going to say, We Are the Few, that is an indie game.
I'm surprisingly watching sports, so I might be having a stroke right now.
Well, I hope not.
I was like, are you watching the finals, Jeff? What the fuck?
Okay. My neighbor is the worst because they get online and download all this shit illegally, so it fucks up the internet connection for the neighborhood. So if I stream something while we record the podcast, it makes the quality drop for the call. So I don't want that, and nothing else was on right now. Oh, fuck, I missed Family Ties. I could have watched that instead.
Oh, damn. Family Ties? Oh, no.
I love that fucking show, dude. My last year at college, I got up every morning and watched it at 6 a.m. I'm not joking. Every morning. Breakfast with the Keatons.
All right, hold on, Jeff. Here you go. Hold on. Legit question.
There's a link.
Family Ties or Growing Pains?
Family Ties. Growing Pains can suck a dick.
Whoa. Easy.
Dude, we're gonna...
Whoa.
Hold on, we're going to talk about this for a moment. Family Ties had Michael J. Fox.
Of
so
course.
He's way better than Kirk Cameron.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I don't even remember the sister's name on Growing Pains, but at least Mallory Keaton was kind of cute. The parents were better on Family Ties, though Alan Thicke is the man. Family Ties had fucking co-stars you wouldn't believe. Courtney Cox, Tom Hanks, all the Goonies except Sean Astin showed up on there. And that includes Corey Feldman. His little ass was on fucking Family Ties.
Ascension, Millennium.
Princess Vespa was on fucking Family Ties.
Wasn't that the sister from Growing Pains?
No, Daphne Zuniga, no.
They look eerily similar.
Well, Growing Pains was on during and after Spaceballs, where she would have been too old to play the Seagull. I have a book that's written by someone named Deborah Downer, for real. That's why I bought it. It's called American Ghost Stories by Dr. Deborah Downer. I know that's a fake name, but...
The most depressing ghost stories you've ever read by Deborah Downer.
And my ghost left me alone. Not even the undead love me.
Oh.
We Happy Few. Apparently it's supposed to come out the end of this year. That's the rumor. So
I'll mess with it.
Rumor has it. Well, that has been our E3 coverage. Let's see what the fan mail is this week. It's actually really fucking limited. So last week we talked about Marvel versus DC versus Star Wars, and it's a successful video so far. And our good friend of the show, Swan Pride, wrote, 20 years before, Star Wars would have likely won this argument. 10 years before, DC was on top of their game. Nowadays, it's Marvel, no question there. It is the most consistent franchise of the three, and is the only one who managed to be relevant worldwide, and not just in the US. I know Star Wars or DC fans don't want to hear it, but people in China, for example, have barely any connection to this stuff. But the Avengers are now beloved everywhere. I thought that was a good point. And then Azur Saiyan does not think that's a good point, so whatever. He was given a thumbs up. It's probably by Dustin. Phil, your biggest fan, Todd Howard, commented.
I have a fan?
Yeah, for real, this guy has liked you from when you weren't on for a while. He's like, where's Phil?
Oh, yeah!
Uh-oh, I have a stalker.
His image is Vault Boy with Phil Spencer's head on top of it.
Who the fuck is Vault Boy?
The guy from
Fallout, man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't watch Fallout.
Oh, Vault Boy.
I don't play Fallout. I'm sorry.
I don't watch any of that shit.
Yeah,
but he says, you know I'd snort that coke off Phil's butt crack. I don't care how little coke there is, I'll still do it.
Wow.
You must be a lonely son of a bitch.
I got no words for you, sir. Sorry.
And then he comments again, I don't like the new garbage being released, but I still prefer Star Wars. Episode 7 doesn't count. And then Dion responded with, wish we could pick and choose like that. And he responds with, dang.
Dang.
That was the light week of fan mail. There was not much to be said. Let's check out the Twitters. Using the hashtag WCBS, that's the fastest way to contact us, because you'll reach Dion and I right away.
Boom.
So when you type in hashtag WCBS, you get Washington State Age. President Obama delivers statement on deadly Orlando nightclub shooting.
God.
Why
couldn't he be there?
Here you go. This comes from Becky Loathan. My boy, proud owner. And there's 3 pictures of a dog.
Nice.
Then from Tara Han at the CBS conference, John Connolly. Finally, world-class bullshit. Who wins? Find out here. From last week. Team Cap, Team Iron Man, Big Worm, Big Hole, Big I don't give a damn. That seems to be a pretty good. That's pretty much all of our fan mail and social media, guys. How do you think the show went?
From last week or this week?
In general, this show. How do you think the show went right now?
No, I think it went great. I think it's going great. Making the climb, baby. Slow and steady, man. That's how you win the race.
We are at 525 subscribers. We are not going down. We're only going up. And I think the limited amount of bullshitters tonight actually helped because we had a lot of content to cover.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is World Class Bullshitters, episode 29. Expect something special for episode 30.
Ooh, baby, baby.
Every week we take a dump on the world of pop culture. You can find us on Facebook at World Class Bullshitters, Twitter using the hashtag WCBS, or you can email us at sorry, I forgot the other part that's important. WorldClassBS@mail.com. The best mail.
.com.
.com? .com.
I wish it was .com.
.com.
Hey, do you want me to see if Jaden Smith at mail.com is available?
Please.
Yes.
I'll do it right now before we sign out. You guys talk about something. I'll do it.
My God.
So there's this one time with this one bitch I was hanging out with.
All right, come on. Dion, first video game system you ever owned?
Ooh, first one was PlayStation, man. First one, because my friends had N64. I had been asked for an N64, but then I went to my aunt's in Chicago. She had a PlayStation, and she had EA, NFL 2K, what was it, 2K5 or 1 or whatever. And
who was on the cover? Was it Randy Moss or was it Donovan McNabb? Oh, no, wait a minute. Was it Randy Moss or was it Terrell Owens?
I think it was the one with Terrell Owens.
Terrell Owens, that was 2K5.
Okay, 2K5. Okay. Wait, no, I thought Donovan McNabb was 2K5.
No, he was mad in 2005.
You're right. Okay, thank you.
I know.
That's right. But yep, and then she had a demo disc that had a bunch of games that some of them didn't even get released. But that's when I wanted a PlayStation, and then I got it I think we got it for our birthday. So
first video game system I ever owned. Now it was my 10th birthday. My mom said you can have whatever you want for your 10th birthday. What do you want? You know what I answered? I wanted a fucking Super Nintendo.
On your 10th birthday?
On my 10th birthday, I asked for a Super Nintendo. I could have gotten an N64, but you know why I asked for Super Nintendo? Because I wanted to fucking play Mech Warriors. That's why.
That game was on the first PlayStation, dude.
Maybe it wasn't Mech Warriors. It was something.
I would say Mech Warrior was a PC game.
There was a specific game my brothers and I would always play, and I'll be fucked if I can remember what it is.
It was a robot game?
It was. And my brother probably fucking look at me like he doesn't remember it either if he was here, but fuck me in the asshole. I can't remember the life of me what it is.
I called it.
Well, I got the information. Jaden Smith at mail.com is not available, but Jaden Smith at post.com is. So I'm signing up for that right now.
Sounds classier. Post.com.
Post.com. We are Jaden Smith at post.com, and the security question is, what city were you born in? West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
Oh, no. He doesn't get that like his father does. This motherfucker was probably born in Miami and Benito Amiami or some bullshit.
He was getting jiggy
with it. Heat is on all night on the beach till the break of dawn.
I'm going to Miami.
Jaden Smith's a bitch.
They tell me the rainstorms ain't nothing to mess with, but I can't feel a drip on this trip. It's a trip.
Here we go, guys. Make sure, to the listeners, if you ever want to spam an email account that I'll never check, spam Jaden Smith at post.com. The postiest of all .coms.
That's post.com.
If you're a Cockney, fuck off.
Fuck off?
Anyway, I am your host, Jeff Hicks.
I am the man with the tan and the original plan, Dion Green.
It works that way, too.
I'm Rowdy Loudy, and these are your shorts. Oh, wait a minute. Nope, wrong show. My bad. Shit.
Okay. And I'm the Dr. Phil. Don't forget to cup the balls.
The word for this week's show is prestidigitation. Think about it.